I think we can get going now.
I tell you, Spawn 107.5 FM, Fabric 101.1 FM. Of course, we are live on Spawn TV via Spawn TV live on Facebook, Fabric TV on Facebook. We are also live via YouTube. And so if you are there, you know we are here to give you real powerful coverage when it comes to what is happening from the House. From the Supreme Court. So we welcome you. My name is Lorena Honoré. I'm here with some of my colleagues, and we have reporters posted at the Supreme Court. Want to bring you the ruling today, as we were told that today the ruling is going to be handed down. We don't know in favor of whom. It could be in favor of the majority bloc or the minority bloc. But we are here to bring you the coverages from around the Supreme Court and also from in studio. I am here with Sylvester Wowi, Dennis Nipson, and of course, Damon Slanga. My name is Lorena Honoré. James Flomo is there. James, how are you?
Yes.
Oh, you
good
there?
afternoon.
You hear
How
me?
are
I'm
you? Good,
moving. Let me
good
make sure
afternoon.
you hear me clearly. What's up, James?
I'm hearing you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Flomo. Today is the day, the very big day. And we have a full house here in studio, and even the guys out there. We know Liberian people depend on this network to give them all the information that they need. And so that's why we are here to bring down the Supreme Court ruling to the people via the radio and, of course, on live TV. So, you know, we've been hearing some gist in different corners of what the ruling will be. I don't know how they even know, but we want to make sure we get it from the Supreme Court itself. So, James, how you doing?
Well, I'm okay. And since they have just been sitting behind this computer here, just waiting for this 1 hour to reach, that is 3 and about 24 minutes to that time.
Yep.
I've been waiting for a very long time. And I know many Liberians are like me.
Yeah, waiting, eager. And I see the presence of some older women at the Supreme Court. They have placards, some of them saying, Speaker Fonanti, God be with you. I don't know what makes them to even put such thing on the placard. It's like, what do they know? What are they saying? It's like are they letting the cat out of... There is Speaker Kofa. I see the arrival of Speaker Kofa at the Supreme Court.
Yeah, so we can join Chukon. Chukon is currently live. Let Chukon give us update from there. Chukon, welcome.
Chukon, are you there? Chukon Flaman.
Yes, you getting me now?
Yes, clearly.
Go ahead. You are live.
So thank you so much the team in studio for joining us from the grounds of the Temple of Justice in Monrovia,
Yep.
where we are. The Temple of Justice is currently tense in terms of the security here, the joint security, as you can see for those who are watching, as you can see on the screen, and those who are listening also, the security here is very has been increased by the Liberia National Police, and they are ensuring to provide security until this matter is done today. In a moment from now, we will have the final, ruling into this matter on in the impasse on Capitol Hill. As you may recall, on October 17 this year, group of lawmakers on Capitol Hill united on for the three members signed a resolution to oust Speaker J. Fonanti Kofa. And after that, they went on to elect their own speaker, Richard Kuhn. They elected their own speaker, Richard Kuhn, and the accounts have been uh, against the speaker, have been the issue of wrongful proceeding, conflict of interest, corruption, and all of that. Despite their Rickman role on Capitol Hill, other people, other lawmakers from the majority side have argued that the court, the temporal justice, the Supreme Court, has no right to interfere in the business of the legislature, which is one of the branches of the Liberian government. But again, the Supreme Court is the highest court in the land to hear disputes and all of that. So we have come today. The court is expected, the full bench of the court is expected to make a decision into this matter on Capitol Hill. So we are here. Lawmakers are arriving on both sides. Earlier on, we witnessed the arrival of District 2 representative from Moserado County right here, and also we witnessed the arrival of District 9, Friends Safoko, and a couple of other lawmakers who witnessed the arrival of Representative Richard Kuhn, who is also from the side of the majority.
Choco, we are listening to you.
Chokon, go ahead, please.
Jim.
Yeah, go ahead, Chokon. You are live.
And
Go
so
ahead.
we just witnessed the arrival of District 2, Grand Kitman County uh, lawmaker. She just arrived a moment ago and making way up to the the the, the courtroom where they have been assembling those lawmakers who are in support of the speaker. They have been here this morning. They just some of those lawmakers arrived here earlier on and they had to go by, and we are seeing they are arriving in their numbers on the grounds of the Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia. So we're just giving you a view of the court.
Mhm.
This entire court right now is tense. To even have access to the premises of the court, it means that you have to be well identified. You have to be well identified. Either you are here for a serious matter. Those who have cases here, we've been told that the security is saying that all other matter is put on hold. It's put on hold until otherwise. So as you can see, they are screening people at the gate for you to have access into this premises. You have to go through screening from the security apparatus here on the grounds of the Temple of Justice in in Monrovia.
Okay. All right, Choco. Thank you. So let's join Nelson. Nelson is currently at the Supreme Court. We have his picture here. He's very close to the security folks. Nelson, welcome.
Nelson?
Nelson, welcome.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes,
We are hearing you.
Go ahead.
Okay, so again, we are here live on the grounds of the Temple of Justice. James, as we got here, we got here like 2 hours to the actual time set up by the Supreme Court for the handing down of this very important ruling today. And initially, there wasn't that much of a security presence here. There were just a very few security officers. It was more like a free entry from the back end of the grounds of the Temple of Justice. Just a few security officers were at of the facility here. But as we speak, just about 30 minutes or so ago, James, the security presence here on the grounds of the Temple of Justice has increased significantly. As you see in the background, there's a huge presence of the Liberia National Police here who have come to ensure that security is provided, especially given the nature of the case here today, something that Liberians have long awaited. And we also saw the arrival of some of the lawmakers, and we saw the arrival of Representative Josiah Marvin Cole and other lawmakers from the minority bloc or from Councilor Kofa's bloc.
What do you think they did?
Margin
I don't know because I am not the one to bring down anything.
with a huge question. James,
No,
can
I
you
don't
hear
have
me?
this petition now.
Go ahead. Sorry for that.
Okay, so we saw the presence of Representative Josiah Marvin Cole and other lawmakers in the minority bloc. They came through the entrance of the Temple of Justice, walking in with huge security presence and personal security as well, as they made their way in the very corridors, making their way up there ahead of the ruling. What we didn't see was the presence of the speaker, Speaker J. Fonati Kofa. And he was being asked as to why the speaker isn't present. He said he can't speak to that now. But at the moment, what's more important for them and for the Liberian people is to have the ruling handed down today. And of course, we asked him as to whether he trusts the court system. Representative Josiah Marvin Cole, who is one of the frontliners talking about those in the chamber of Councilor Fonati Kofa, said he trusts the court system of the country. And then when he was quizzed as to whether they're going to accept the ruling, whatever it is today, he said they will accept the ruling. They trust the court. If it goes their way or not, they are going to continue trusting the process. And they think this is a defining moment. And also, James, we saw the arrival of Representative Samuel Koga of Limba County, the chairman of the majority bloc. He also came in here, but he wasn't in the regular mood that you see him in that very energetic mood. He didn't speak for a long time to the press because he said he's moving, and so he was feeling here because today is the time of the ruling, and it was important for them to be here. But given the situation with Limba County, the passing of Senator Prince Johnson and all of that, he said that they're moving, but he's here today to witness the ruling. So he did not speak like Representative Marvin Cole did. He did not say anything about the justice system, whether he trusts the legal system, what the outcome of the ruling would be, whether they're going to stand by it or not. But he said they're here today because we want to see what the ruling will be. And then there was a group of women. If you look on the far end there, I just want to take the camera a little. If you look on the far end, there was a group of women here as well who chipped in. Initially, they were in jubilant mood. They were all celebrating, chanting slogans that God is here. We are here to support Councilor J. Fonati Kofa. And those women made their way here. And we managed to have spoken to the leader of those women, and she said that we are here to support Councillor Kofa. We are here to see the ruling go his way. They are called God Power Women, and they say justice for Konati Kofa. And as you can see, James, on some of the instructions they have here, beginning with this one, GPW, God Power Women, and God stand with you, all right? And in God we trust. These are some of the instructions we have right here. Justice for Kofa, and you see another instruction here that says, God Power Women say justice for Super Kofa. Right? These are the instructions that we see here from these women. And fortunately, we spoke to the leader of the women here, and they have said that they trust the court system. But at the same time, they're calling for peace. They want for Liberians to remain peaceful as we go through this particular process. And they say they are supporting Councillor Kofa, and they want the right thing to be done. So this is where we are, James. I see Representative Pamela and other lawmakers making their way here. They are still making their way at the grounds of the Temple of Justice. So, James, what we see now is that we have a rival. The time from where we're broadcasting to you from, on the grounds of the Temple of Justice, is 11 p.m. You know that initially the ruling was set for 3 p.m. So about 11 minutes from now, we are looking forward to seeing what happens, especially with respect to the ruling being handed down here by the Supreme Court. And there's something I want to bring to your attention and to you, James, and the rest of our audience. So we will get to talk to we are hopeful because Supreme Court rulings and decisions are basically based on determinary factor, for today's ruling. We can anticipate to a larger extent that the Supreme Court will not outrule its just major precedent cases. One of them is the Mirabel case. Another one is Snow versus Ketakumi Murray and other legislators. Another one is Speaker Tal and other members of the legislature. The court has held under the doctrine of the political question that the Supreme Court will not intervene into political matters. And under Article 3 of the Constitution of Liberia, it is clear and unambiguous that there are three separate and coordinated branches of government, and that each branch has a constitutional mandate and functionality. The Supreme Court has a mandate to interpret law and also to make law in cases. And equally, the legislature has three cardinal functions, which you all are aware of. The executive has its own constitutional mandate. So no one branch of government has any exclusive authority to stall the constitutional mandate or function of another branch.
So if this ruling doesn't go your way today, do you think it's going to be a right precedent?
So one thing I can say to you, Article 65 and 66 of our Constitution gives the Supreme Court the exclusive authority as the final arbiter of justice. Whatever decision that is handed down today by the Supreme Court remain law and gospel, and it will be respected by every party, regardless of what front, whether left or right, whether majority or minority. I can say to you, we are 73 lawmakers. We were elected for 6 years. We are just concluding the first 1 year. We got 5 more years to sit down in one room. The work of the Liberian people has to go on, and we need to make impact in Liberia. So
one may say,
is, I can say to you 100%. One may say,
at what point?
All right. Thank you. Dano,
Yes.
welcome. Dano.
Thank you,
Can you hear me?
James. Good afternoon to everybody listening to us here in Liberia, and hello, good day to
Are you there? Can you hear me?
everybody watching us via Spoon TV. It's a pleasure being here, James.
Damo, you are a bit low. I don't know.
Talking to microphone.
Okay, so let's see if you can get me better than what it was. If that is okay. Is the
Yeah, I
audio
think you are okay now.
okay? All right. So as I said, good afternoon to you, James. Good afternoon to everybody listening to us across Liberia. Good morning, good evening, a pleasant day to everybody watching us all around the world. Today is D-Day in Liberia, James. For so many reasons. Than one, Liberians all across the country are following the Spoon Network through an array of stations that are relaying us all across the country. Liberians all around the world following and keen. We'd love to say thanks to the Spoon Network for putting us in a spot in a place that can be informed in real time as to what's unfolding in our country, especially during these 1 month plus days that we've had this whole chaos at the capital happening. Since the 17th of October up to today, there's been an array and diverse ways of political bickering and political grandstanding and a lot of other things happening in the country. So today, the Supreme Court is going to let us know what their decision is. They have decided, though. They're just going to give the ruling to the parties concerned.
Yeah, Dennis, welcome.
Yes, thank you, James, and would like to say welcome to everyone who following us from wherever location they are. It's good to be back today, following the long anticipated, ruling from the Supreme Court of Liberia. And Liberians, all walks of land, are actually waiting. They are eager to hear the final ruling to know how it is still may end on Capitol Hill. So it is important that as Spoon Network, we come with the factual information and come with first hand information. So it is good to be here, and we hope today that the ruling can be given so that whatsoever that is happening at the Capitol Hill, Liberians can have rest of all the impacts and all of the unnecessary things that hijack the country as it relates to the lawmakers that should be giving as it relates to laws and all of that concern the budget. Liberians are eager to know how will the government proceed, how will the government work, but that we know that the draft national budget is at hand, how they can discuss it and how development can take its route. So it is important to be here today.
James, we also
Lauren,
have Sylvester Wowi. Yes, James, we are happy to be
where's
here.
Sylvester? I'm not seeing him.
We're trying to get him on. He's working.
Yeah, but I
behind
think he can
the
be
scenes to
talking
get on
while
the
we're
line.
getting him. Sylvester.
Yeah. So Sylvester, you're welcome.
Yes, James. How you doing, my brother?
You are far from the microphone.
No, I'm very close.
The man is close to the microphone.
Okay, sir.
Before Sylvester come in, James, let me just say so many thanks to all of you guys being here, the ones out there, our reporters. We have been following this thing to the letter, making sure Liberian people get all information that they need to get, be it from the House of Representatives or from the Supreme Court. We are glad that today, finally, as Damon said, is D-Day, so that this ruling can come down, so that Liberian people work can go on. The people, even you go to the marketplaces, they say that they want thing passed. The highly anticipated ruling that the Supreme Court is supposed to bring down today, we want to know. And we pray and hope that whomever favor is going to be ruled in will accept the result. And, we can move forward with our country. As you know, the Christmas festivity, I'm always talking about it, is around. And Liberia being one of the countries that is one of the most peaceful in the sub-region, it is very important for the ruling today to, be accepted, and this country, everything that needs to be done to make sure we preserve our peace continue. So, Sylvester, you can come on while I try to get you connected.
Okay.
Yes, Sylvester, we listen to you.
Okay. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, James. Thanks to Damon and of course Dennis, who is also here. It's good. I mean, this is a debut. The last time I appeared here was during the election, so it's great to be back with the team, and I hope we can continue on this coverage from where you gotta leave it.
Okay, go ahead. We're talking about a case today. What do you expect? We're trying to get our team back from the Supreme Court.
Yes,
go ahead.
As journalists, we always speculate when we can get the news. And speculation is nothing bad in journalism. So while we await the Supreme Court to come out with ruling, I think journalists have been following the case at the court, where we know the majority of blocks is trying to see how best they can put out a defense to the case filed by the speaker, the embattled speaker, Fonati Kofa. But whatever it is, I know, like many things, I don't think the Supreme Court is going to dictate to the House of Representatives what they should do. So
okay, so let's hold you right there and cross over to the Supreme Court. Damo, you can take over and talk to Chukum.
Okay. Let's see if we can get audio from the team. The team there.
So I jump in. I think it's something that for some of us, we are downhearted with. And in the process of his death, people using his car for his home again, involving an asset to lost another life. I think it's something that is quite disturbing.
So if the ruling today doesn't go in your favor, so if the ruling today doesn't go in your favor, you still move on. It
tells me that everything I say, they didn't listen to it.
I listened to you.
No, you did not. You did not.
I'm
concerned
about
the
Supreme Court the right to preside and make decision or as the final arbitrary.
So where was I when the Supreme Court was served? When the Supreme Court was served in prison cases, has told us repeatedly, we cannot interfere. You remember what the guy did? Just a minute.
So the video is...
Yeah, so we do apologize for the hitches. It's due to network issue. Let's see if we can reconnect with our OB team there on the grounds of the Supreme Court of Liberia. Today is D-Day. So to the crew there, kindly unmute the microphone so that we get the audio from the Honorable Lawmaker from Bond County. Please do that. James, kindly unmute the
microphone from the Supreme Court. We have
James.
I
think they are working on it, not me. All right, let me.
I just said to the prison cases are there, and you can read for yourself, and you can inform the librarian. We are clear with that. And I said to the Supreme Court has repeatedly ruled this jurisdiction that they cannot interfere.
So you will not respect the rule of law if it doesn't go in your favor. You respect the rule of law, but you will not respect.
So you hear that's it. So them get to move up a little quick.
The law is the law, and that's the common saying. Today you are here. What your
the future of the country is in the food. The food will decide whether how do you say our future? The lawful country. It's all in the food now.
The police have said anyone that the Supreme Court not determine where the House of Representatives go in terms of making administrative decisions.
At this point in time, I did not hear what they say. I cannot respond to what they say. What I am saying is that the sanctity of our democracy is online. The stability of our nation is online. And all of that are in the hands of the Supreme Court.
Are you seeing something happening undemocratically?
It's in the court hand. I will respond to whatever decision they make when they make it. At this time, I cannot prejudge them. But they have a responsibility to uphold the law, and we are hoping that that's what they are going to tell us.
They should bring sanity among lawmakers to have to resolve the impasse that's currently taking place at the House of Representatives. What do you say to them?
I mean, this has nothing to do with my country. This has everything to do with Liberia. So We do it like that.
When you imagine just a moment ago, you post it on your page. You should Facebook page. When you imagine, what is that imagine?
You first begin parable. So, are you not sure about
Yeah.
Okay, so we just listen to a representability, which has some ability of Liberia County, addressing some of those issues here. So at the moment, all of the lawmakers are making their way on the grounds of the legislature. They are arrivals. I see.
Where are you? LSCC. So. Where are you? Are you saying something to the West? LSCC got a whole thing to do.
Things to do. So it's not easy here.
Welcome to the media.
Understand, Brown, what's your expectation? I kept him the Supreme Court decision. But what if the ruling doesn't go in your favor? Will you still go on in removing the speaker unconstitutional? Yeah, because it's so many counts. You can't work on a speaker that get what 6-7 counts.
So you doesn't. So come on, saying you just doesn't trust this.
The Supreme Court does not intervene in first branch of government. Yes, definitely. Thank you very much.
So it's interesting out here, and he's saying that when the Supreme Court rules in other ways, he will not, or they will not sit under the speaker gavel. So
yeah, so this is exactly the situation here on the ground of the Supreme Court or the Temple of Justice. The lawmakers are arriving from everywhere in the full presence of security here as well. The ground of the Supreme Court is charged. If you look across there, you're going to see folks from the first branch of government peeping into the happenings here of the judiciary from the grounds of the legislature. The folks have trooped in and they can't go back. They're all trying to get exactly what the happenings are here on the grounds of the Temple of Justice. Liberians have gathered here as well, not just the media, but folks from different backgrounds, civil society, the religious background, the youth, the student population, and Liberians from just everywhere have gathered here today to know exactly, to get exactly what the ruling is going to be. This case is a landmark case. It's one of the major cases that Liberia will be witnessing after so many years. Of course, like we saw in the case of Stakeholder, a major case in the country, a precedent case in the country. This is another one that we're witnessing here today on the grounds of the Temple of Justice. So we're going to keep posted here, providing all of the updates. Thanks to the entire team here. I'm Nelson Colette, Jurassic Joe, Ernest Benda, Chokon Flamancy, Sylvester Cholope is there in the courtroom to provide us updates every single step along the way. And so we're here, and I'd like to say, yes, thanks for joining us. So we're still seeing the arrivals, the women out there. I see the lawmakers are still arriving. So it's 7 minutes past 3 p.m. And so it's expected that this process will commence anytime soon. This is what we're witnessing here on the grounds of the Supreme Court. From here, as I make this brief adjustment here in the back end.
Nelson?
So thank you so much for rejoining us. We are still here on the grounds of the Temple of Justice in Monrovia, very charged. Grounds of the Temple of Justice is a no-go zone for people who want to loiter around. You can pass there now because the security situation here is very hard. And as you can see on your screen, as we are with our reporter in the courtroom, and the arrival of lawmakers on either side of the conflict, we will still remain posted here to give our audience the needed information. Earlier on, we saw a group of women who have come in solidarity of the speaker. They have come to support the speaker. According to them, the speaker, J. Fonanti Kofa, remains the speaker of the Republic of Liberia. They believe that there's no need to have him removed. They held placards with several messages, instructions in support of the minority speaker, J. Fonanti Kofa, and all of that. So as you can see, lawmakers are still arriving. Lawmakers are still arriving here to support their side in this case.
James, you muted. I don't know if you're speaking to Trocon.
Oh, yeah.
And what we get.
Go ahead, Damon.
Yeah, what we're getting from in the courtroom itself, as we see more arrivals, there wouldn't be nothing different from
what the day brings. What is important is that we get back to the voice of the Liberian people, and then handle that. That's all it is. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, Damon, you were speaking. Go
yeah,
ahead.
so as I was saying, James, we wouldn't hear anything different from both sides, lawmakers from both sides of the aisle, whether the rebellious majority black or the self-styled, but they don't want to be termed as that minority of the speaker. Both sides are going to express optimism in whatever the ruling will be from the Supreme Court. Black, they are going to sit under the gavel of Speaker Jonathan Fonanti Kofa.
Yeah, okay, let's go through.
Question to the council, but let's listen to Representative Samuel Enders.
Our country can stand up again. We have 3 branches of governments. Those other 2 branches are working very well, but the legislature is incapacitated right now because of what happened. So we pray today. I call on my friends, no matter who they are. You need to understand that what are on both sides, in union strong, success is sure.
With the ruling today, led to the Balu at the legislature, particularly the House of Representatives.
That is our prayer. Our prayer is that if the House join the majority black or our colleagues, we should do it. If it says we need to come together under the speaker and deal with our issues, we need to do that. So whichever way the laws which instructs us to work, my goal as a representative of people of District Number 6 is to do that, because this has gone on too long and our people have suffered. And I think it is in our interest that we follow the rules and regulations.
Some of your colleagues just said that the Supreme Court doesn't have any authority to come in the representative case.
The Supreme Court is not going into our case. The Supreme Court is trying to guide us. They are the final when it comes to in our country, when it comes to telling us how we interpret this law. If the law says that you must have 49, if the law says that due process must be accorded, and they, in their wisdom, they understood and saw that due process was not accorded, I think it is expedient to listen to what they say. It doesn't mean one side have won. Liberians have won in the interest of making sure Liberia moves on. I don't think this can continue for a long time. I'm hoping to see people across the aisle put Liberia first today and put all of our differences aside. Here to point finger at anyone to condemn anyone, but to see how we come together once again.
According to you, Liberians are suffering. What is only a decision or a statement?
If you look at the way things are, our budget should be dealt with right now. It's not been dealt with. This is Christmas season. The country is coming to an end. This budget have not been passed. Things have not been looked at. And I think it creates untold suffering to our people. It is expedient. It is in the interest of all Liberians that those on both sides of the aisle sit together and iron up our differences.
Who takes responsibility of what is going on currently?
Come again?
Who takes responsibility of what
all of us do. We all should take the responsibility.
Okay, thank you. So that was the voice of Honorable Samuel Enders of District Number 6 representative, and his final statement is that they all should be responsible for whatever that is going on here at the legislature. Going in and we're trying to.
All right. Dama, go ahead.
Yeah, James, just to conclude, because we have a full house here. We also have,
let's welcome the CEO
here, Mr. Stanton Alexander Witherspoon Sr., who wouldn't shy away from such an important.
He's an observer, though.
Talk, but he's here, and it's a welcome addition as well to this broadcast. But at the end of the day, the Supreme Court is going to rule whether it's unconstitutional, whether the self-styled majority is illegitimate in their setting, whether there is constitutional requirements that they need to fulfill, or whether they didn't meet that. The Supreme Court is going to also rule whether the speaker, because due process was asked during the arguments, whether the speaker was accorded due process. We listened to the lawyer for the self-styled majority black saying that on many occasions, the speaker was sent a communication. There was an ad hoc committee set up to investigate the speaker. He didn't avail himself to that investigation, pointing to the fact that they accorded him due process, but he abstained, from being a part of the due process as well. So we'll be following on what the various counts the Supreme Court ruling is going to affect their opinion. From the courthouse, we've gotten information that both set of lawyers are not yet seated, and the full bench of the Supreme Court, is not yet seated as well. So we still see arrivals of lawmakers from both sides of the divide, the rebellious majority and the clinging onto minority of the speaker as well, James.
All right, CEO, welcome. As an observer, you can go ahead and this is not spoon talk.
Yes, it's true. I'm observing this morning, James. That's why I came with my cup of coffee. Yeah. But thank you guys for adding me on. And hi to Lorena, Denise, Dama. Greetings to you all. I think this is a big day. This is a big day right now. And I don't know which side this thing going to roll. We all been speculating. But as it is right now, this will be a landmark decision from the Supreme Court. As you said, the courtroom is jam-packed, and the justices, and they have not seated yet. So we just going to wait and see. They said 10 o'clock, 3 o'clock Liberia time, 10 Eastern time. Right now it's 10:15, which of course is 3:50 in Liberia, but all we can do now is to wait and see. But my question to you guys, everybody's saying that, well, they're going to accept the ruling from this Supreme Court today. Dama, you first. Well, I mean, with everything now, today is D-Day, though. The people, Liberians home and abroad, anxious. What do you think? You think everyone just tired? Like Representative Elder said, we got to move on, man. We got to go. We're tired. What do you think, though?
Yeah, so everyone in Liberia wants to see an end of this, debacle that is currently unfolding up Capitol Hill. But sadly, when the Supreme Court ruling or opinion comes down today, we will see if it goes against the majority. That is a clear thing for sure. They've said it over and over. They are not going to sit under the gavel of Speaker Jonathan Fonati Kofa, which will lead to the Speaker and his bloc filing a writ of mandamus to compel them to come to work. We'll see that process playing out. There will be further delays. The legal process is what is happening now. But what has happened in all of this delay, CU and everybody else listening, it has educated Liberians more the longer this has dragged on for, it has educated Liberians more on what the process should be. So the heightened tension from day one up to the first 2 weeks, that tension has also dissipated to a larger extent. Everybody is now saying, let's wait up on the Supreme Court ruling. We all know that these steps should be followed. Was Speaker Kofa given due process? Is the majority legal in their sitting? Can over 37 lawmakers sit somewhere with a presiding officer? You know, what conditions leads to that? So this has afforded us opportunity to learn the process even more. But to answer your question directly, yes, Liberians want to see an end to this entire matter and see 3 fully functioning organs of government in our country.
Well, so James, let me ask you before we go to, hey, I'm not taking over your show. You're just giving me a few seconds here. But James, these are some of the things people are arguing about. Petitioner's petition. One. And listen, I think the Supreme Court is going to give their opinion on each of them. Stop these guys, then the majority Black. They are operating illegally. I mean, that's the reason why this is number one, because this is the big one in the room, James. What do you think? How do you think the Supreme Court going to move on the first one, on the petitioner's petition one, the convening by the respondent of a purported and illegal plenary? James, talk to me while we all wait. And whenever the guys are ready to talk to us, you can bring them on, because we just want a waiting game now.
Yes, we are waiting for update from the courtroom. So, like what you said, right? Count one, I'm very sure, as per sources that we have spoken to, I'm very sure that count one will not be acceptable. That is, the Supreme Court will not rule and say their sitting is illegal, to declare it unconstitutional. If the Supreme Court is to do that, it means that there is they are interfering, right? They are interfering with the legislature. So I see count one not going the way of Speaker Kofa, because the Supreme Court will not want to breach the legality. The hall is now quiet with President. Okay, so just before I go ahead,
bring us the update.
Yeah, just before I go ahead, update from the Supreme Court says the hall is now quiet with presence of security, dominantly LNP officers. So,
the House rule is clear, right? And the majority must rule. The majority always rule. Therefore, we expect the Supreme Court to respect our decision.
You come in 19 minutes after 3. You come in 19 minutes after 3. But why are you coming late? Why are you coming late? So, whatever this.
So, according to report coming in, LNP has taken over the security system within the courtroom. So we hope that they will start very soon. Yeah, like what I was saying, count one will not be accepted by the Supreme Court. They will not rule in favor of Kofa, because you don't want to be seen as a person who is interfering with the next branch of government, because the Constitution says everyone should function independently with oversight, and that is the oversight that they are doing now as a court. So count one will not go in favor of Kofa. I see the majority Black winning count one, where they will be declared. That is my own prediction based on information gathered already. They are going to be declared constitutional, meaning they are sitting, or what they did were constitutional. Yeah.
Correct. So, Dama, again, if you guys have update, I know you guys getting live update from the courtroom. You guys are free to interrupt, because the folks want to know what's going on in the courtroom. A lot of people following Spoon talk right now. I know Spoon, I don't know how you guys put this. Yeah, man.
Go ahead, man. You are free.
A lot of you guys following Spoon. Denise, what's your mindset right now? What are you thinking on? Is this over, or you think we're going to run into another issue later on down the line?
Okay, thank you, CEO. Like I said previously, that the entire situation up Capitol Hill that led to the Supreme Court, Liberians are actually eager to see an end to this impasse, because as we are aware that the situation has held hostage, some of the key decisions that should be made by the lawmakers. And today, from the ruling that we are expecting, we see that the majority bloc is resolved in their quest, and they are away, saying that the law is the law, and the Supreme Court cannot dictate to them as lawmakers how to conduct their affairs. So my own issue here is that in an instant where the Supreme Court ruled in, favor of the minority bloc, we will see another court issue or maybe another situation that will prolong this entire situation up Capitol Hill, because they are not prepared to perhaps accept, the court maybe making some judgments in their situation. And the Funanti bloc, which is the minority bloc as well, I'm hoping that the court should
anticipation today. This is a roll, sir. This is a roll.
So he just said his anticipation is major on his side. That's the
Dennis, sorry for that. Dennis, thank you very much. But let me ask you though, Adamo, do we have Speaker Kofa, Speaker number 1, or Speaker Kuhn, Speaker number 2 in the courtroom today? Are they present?
Yes.
Well, from the latest update we gathered, Speaker Kofa was not present as of that time. Whether or not he has arrived, we're hoping to get more updates from our correspondents that are within the Supreme Court of Liberia. Whether you refer to him as Speaker Kuhn, again, we've seen flyers, we've seen a resolution, a vote that was taken, and all of that. But others will argue that we only do have one, legitimate speaker of the House of Representatives that was elected by his peers, and he's the embattled Speaker Jonathan Fonati Kofa. All of what we saw happening in the joint.
Hold on 1 minute. James, bring us to see what's going on. I think you want to take his son.
Yes, I'm waiting the guy to unmute.
So how do we?
He wants to take his child in.
Nothing. These are students that wanted us to the proceeding with me to the gallery, so they can observe the proceeding. Why? To observe the proceeding when they're discussing law issue, you say the other age. And a part of the regulations of the court. Because I brought students to the court before on visitation. Are you saying that the court rule says students can observe the court proceeding? No, but they are with me. I'm sure there's no one else to look after them now.
This is a welcoming distraction.
Let's say reporter show the officer face, please, if you can hear us.
No, I'm just asking what the rule say because I'm going out with my children to observe the court proceeding. Okay? On the operation.
Rasi, please show his face.
Will you be bringing his camera? No, but I'm waiting now. I won't understand it.
Is there constitutional reliance?
What? So a counselor law called to the bar cannot go up with students to observe the court proceeding. That's what you're saying? Eh?
Look at the operation. Who is this lawmaker? What's his name?
He's not a lawmaker. He's the office
in the gallery.
Is that Bagbala? Kanyo Bagbala.
No, these people are all with me. They're my children. They're sitting with me. We're observing the court proceeding. I'm a counselor at law called to the bar. You're saying that the regulations say because I brought students here people to observe court proceeding. That's why it's different. It's a state issue. Yeah, it's a state issue. That's why they should learn. No, they shouldn't understand how the proceeding where the judge is going to go and read a ruling. What's wrong with them sitting there listening to the reading of the ruling? Yeah.
But in the first place, why he's arguing with the officers?
Okay, so Damon, could they just observe it?
Yeah.
Up there, they will be controlled by the professor around here. But up there, there are only few persons there because the one who the control system here. They put see that enter in there, everybody enter the Supreme Court. Some of them will work out there.
I'm going to go in the gallery. Upstairs.
But they're talking about peace.
We beg your pardon. We don't the future of
Jersey, whosoever to show us the officer face, please.
We're not stopping you.
Yeah, he's coming. He's not really hearing us now. Just
if they come down,
different issues. So it's fine. I will just wait for the ruling.
Are you feeling embarrassed?
Are you feeling embarrassed? No, I'm not embarrassed, brother. It's fine.
Because members of the public going because your kids are going.
Yeah.
Members of the public going because your kids
we passed that matter already.
Thank you, Honorable.
Thank you, Honorable. Thank you, Honorable.
That's all. But the last time you brought students were they unified?
That is beside the point.
Diamond, what am I saying here? So the counselor want to take students with him.
They are his children.
Which, of course, is a good thing to take students with you. But this is a big one, maybe because of the sitting capacity. They are saying something have changed.
No,
right,
CEO, before you go, they are not students. Damo, I'm
the
coming.
officer raised the issue of security concern. You know, the officer listened to him. If the officer has said no, they cannot be allowed, then that would have been a problem. So the officer, in the latter stages of their conversation, said, "This is a serious national,
correct,
and we cannot guarantee the safety of kids." So once the officer raised the issue of safety, he had no other option but not to argue anymore, because the officer is saying they are minors. They can fend for themselves if there is anything like that or anything of that sort, and that once the officer raised that, he said, well, there's no need, we'll wait outside, because the officer clearly told him, we can't stop you from going, but because of security implication, and these are minors, if anything goes south, who's going to look after them?
And that's my thing. But guys, please send me the link. If you can forward me the link, though I'm on the show, please. We're trying to help you guys make this thing juicy. Except you don't want us on, and then we can back off. But please send me the link.
No, we want you on.
Look at Bala.
But your guys can come at least one.
Look at Bala. We have overruled. You are overruled. But again, yeah, talk to me, Lorena. Is that you?
So that's Dennis. So a little bit of what happened not too long. I think at first the officer, perhaps he's not aware of court proceeding, whether a charge should be in the in the hearing or not, because from the offset he actually stopped him from going in with the charge. So it was after he identified himself to be some person at law, in what have you, and then the officer tried to tell him, play smart now and tell him that this is a national issue, and perhaps if anything happen, we cannot guarantee the safety of the child. So I think
that is considered Kano Barbara, right?
Yeah. Also,
and he is from the minority black Funati Kofa side, right?
Yeah, he is an office staff.
Okay, all right.
From Funati's office.
Thank you. I mean, so let's move on. Go ahead, Damo. I want to bring Lorena in, but Damo, you go ahead.
Yeah, from the court so far, the update that we have, the latest is that the full bench is not yet seated. The full bench of the Supreme Court is not yet seated, but the chief clerk, the clerical staff of the Supreme Court are already set, and they've spotted the lawyer, one of the lead lawyers for the majority, Black Councilor Vani Sharma, former senator of Grand Cape Mount County, has been spotted there in the Supreme Court as well. So that's the latest update from the Supreme Court of Liberia as it relates to the court's opinion, the court's ruling in the matter, the Speaker of the House of Representatives versus the self-styled rebellious majority black and the Ministry of Justice of the Republic of Liberia.
So let's establish something. Vani Sherman representing the majority black. Who else representing the majority black?
Okay, CEO, before you go, let's make some clarity.
Go ahead.
Kanyu Bambala.
Yeah, he's from
not really
Sokan.
from Kofa's office, but
Yes.
another representative from Grand Jida, that is Sogan. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So, do we know who on the team of Councillor Sherman representing the majority black?
We will get a full list.
Well, okay, so for the minority black, which is for the Tikofa, I think it's Arthur Johnson, Councillor Pierre, and of course we have Serena Seafors and Kabina Janin. Both councillors actually they kind of too quiet. Am I correct?
Yeah.
I mean, why are they kind of staying in the back though? Because Arthur Johnson, I heard he was on ground and he should be in the courtroom, correct?
Yeah, he's in a courtroom. See, or even Speaker Fonati Kofa also arrived on the grounds of the court, so he's also in the courtroom.
Wow.
All right. We haven't yet seen Speaker number 2, Rachel Kuhn.
Yeah, what's going on? What's going on with Speaker number 2? Have you seen Fode Fambula? Have you seen James Colette? Have you seen?
Yeah, Fode arrived. They all arrived. They are in.
Okay. Wow.
Koga also came. He's already in.
Oh, so the chairman, and you know, when we talk about Samuel Koga now, we are looking on the other side of Samuel Koga probably. That era probably he will be in that election to replace the late Senator Prince Yeru Johnson. So Koga is there, he's actively involved as chairman. And again, this thing I'm saying the way forward, guys. I'm thinking about after today, whether today will be the last day we're talking about this thing, whether this thing will be resolved, or whether people will go back in the corner and say, yes, we gave you due process. No, you didn't. You know, a lot of phone calls, but yeah, we are. So let me get back to you, James. You have an update?
Yeah, so let's join the court.
James, okay.
Huh?
Let's join the group. Photos after that.
Okay, go ahead.
I was just saying that after today's ruling, we are not sure that it's going to end whatever is happening.
11%.
Yeah, go ahead. They're working on something.
I was just saying the Supreme Court ruling today, James, will not end. I don't think it's going to end that hollow battle at the House of Representatives because the Supreme Court cannot decide what happens there. Of course, the law is the law. They will rule in favor of one block. But then, let's say in case they rule in favor of Speaker Fonati Kofa, will his friends work with him? If they say no, the Supreme Court cannot force them to work with the Speaker. If in case it should rule in favor of the majority bloc, and Fonati say he's not going to work with them, then what's going to happen? So again, our country is just going to be on a standstill as we await to see what will happen in the House of Representatives. And we cannot have two quorums. So that is why Liberian people are equally waiting today to hear the result and hoping that there will be a way forward so that our country cannot be attacked as it is.
Thanks. We got a lot of people watching, right? Denise, Damon, Lorena, good day. Man, we are jam-packed with the amount of people that are sending us messages, and we want to say thanks. We'll be recognizing you guys, former lawmakers, current lawmakers, state actors, leaders, all watching. We want to say thanks. Share the program. This is Spoon Network, support Fabric. You can find us on the radio station. We want to say yes, indeed, we will need your help. Seriously, after the decision, we will have those documents. We'll go through them. But again, you can join us on Spoon Talk tonight. Tomorrow, don't forget, we have Finance Minister Augustine Gafwan as our guest on Spoon Talk. It would be a big day today. We'll be having consider Serena Seafors coming on Spoon Talk, Kabina and John, and probably again. And everybody will be coming upon this decision to tell us why the Supreme Court ruled how to rule today, if all goes well. Let's talk about the security. James, you are telling us that
we want to get Nelson. We want to get update from.
Thank you. Give us Nelson, and we'll talk about the Liberia National Police.
Yeah, Nelson, welcome. Nelson,
it's muted.
So let me just.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we are hearing you. Go ahead. What's the latest update from the Kodia?
So at the moment, everything is kind of the seems to have been. We saw the arrival of some of the lawmakers. It seems that all of those different parties have already arrived. So there isn't that much in terms of arrival.
All right.
At the grounds of the Supreme Court. But what we
So
He's
James,
muted again.
latest update from within the Supreme Court of Liberia. The full bench is now seated. So we have the full bench of the Supreme Court of Liberia now seated, and the serious matters, has begun. Now we have the full bench of the Supreme Court of Liberia seated. We have Chief Justice, Her Honor Siane G.O., the Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia. We have Her Honor James Etta Wolokoli, Associate Justice, Republic of Liberia. We have His Honor Yusuf D. Kaba, Associate Justice, Republic of Liberia, the Supreme Court. We have His Honor Yemi Kwekwe Beze Senior, Associate Justice, Supreme Court, Republic of Liberia, and the freshest justice on that bench, not a freshman to the law, though, but on the Supreme Court bench of Liberia, is Her Honor E. Clinton Johnson. He is the newest justice on the bench. They are making it 5 in total, the number of justices there to render their opinion. So the Chief Justice is going to read the opinion of the Supreme Court, and we're following the various counts. See you and the rest of the folks. The Supreme Court is going to render a decision on the various counts of the petitioner's petition. But key amongst those will be the unconstitutionality or the constitutionality of the majority bloc. If they rule constitutional and the Supreme Court cannot meddle in their affairs, meaning they will continue to convey, they will continue to negotiate and get more numbers and all of that. Due process is also key. And whether Speaker was granted due process during this entire debacle up to now is also going to be opined on, and we'll be following what's happening in the updates.
Damo, there is a sound coming from you. I don't know. We're hearing a sound when you're speaking.
Yeah, from.
No, we will have to mute ourselves, but it's okay now. I'll let Diamond finish it if we do not have any further update. But I really want to say the pastor, but you missed the pastor praying. They said the pastor was praying, Diamond.
Yeah, so the pastor finished praying, and amongst all of what's been happening, right? The preaching from both sessions has been one of the key attractions. Every day there is a new theme. Moses, let my people go. You will overcome.
and also the chief clerk, that is the clerk of the court, is calling for the case, and he's done. Next is Councilor Arthur T. Johnson, who has introduced himself.
James, give us Councilor Arthur Johnson picture. Give us Vanessa Sherman picture if you can. That when we speak about these people, let's try to upload your photos. That will help. And Councilor Vanessa Sherman just did also. I think I'm receiving the information you guys receiving. He has introduced himself as well. This is from a live update from the courtroom. This is big. Now we are getting is 3:39 in Liberia, and now decision. We almost there, folks, and thank you for joining Spoon. The yard is jam-packed, guys. The yard is jam-packed.
So, yes. Sorry, Dennis. While we are with more updates from the Supreme Court of Liberia, real-time updates, we are being relayed in Grand Jida County to tell you how diverse this broadcast is. We are being relayed on Smile FM 98.6, based in Zweju, Grand Jida County. We'd love to tell them thank you for relaying this broadcast. We're also being relayed on a station in Plebo City, Maryland County. Trying to get the name and frequency of that station as well. We're getting more text messages, more comments of community radio stations relaying us all across Liberia. So not just Liberians overseas that are equally vested, but Liberians home on the various types of radios and FM devices. So we relay on the voice of 103.9 megahertz there in San Nicolas City, Nimba County is relaying us. I'm trying to get the name and frequency of the station in Plebo City, Maryland County that is relaying us, but trying to get that if there's any update that we can get.
Yeah, we have an update. Councilor Augustine Fire is from the Ministry of Justice, and he's the ministry's representative today in the court. He's the ministry's representative, Councilor Augustine Fire. And Sylvester Wowie,
Yeah, he's here. We're trying to get him through, but we don't know. He's not connecting. Sylvester, come through, please.
Yeah, but I think he can still talk
Yeah.
while we.
Yeah, I can make my input.
Yeah.
I mean, Dennis was trying to make a point earlier on. I mean, the CEO asks why we don't hear the other lawyers, but normally the lead lawyer who speak, when you are in court, you now have member of the legal team, everybody speaking, so you speak through the head of the legal team.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's the lead lawyer will always speak, and I
Yeah.
think for the COFA's block we have
Arthur
Johnson and
Johnson,
Pierre,
yeah,
Councillor Pierre as well leading that team. So most often you have them who will be
speaking.
at the forefront. And for those like I saw watching the live video, for those who are joining us via the radio, like the CEO said, the place is packed and you can see people trying to glance at the venue from the fence. So there are people around the fence as well that is trying to peep into the fence of the Supreme Court. That shows how Liberians are, eager to know what is unfolding at the Supreme Court of Liberia.
Brilliant point, Dennis.
Sylvester?
We noticed that during the Gloria Mususka trial as well.
Okay.
Most of the folks you see peeping over the fence are either employees or staffers of the legislature. We had that during the Gloria Mususka case. They wouldn't be allowed entry due to increased security regimen, so they will just peep over the fence to see what's happening. Trust FM 88.7.
So Dama, let's interrupt you. The Chief Justice is reading the ruling. Folks, let's be on top. I hope you can text whoever in the courtroom from our end that they can be fast with every little information we need to.
Yeah, we have it
out there. Let's. I mean, we need to be like word for word from the courtroom. But as you said, the Chief Justice now, CNN Yo, is reading the ruling. So everything is tense right now. The whole country is quiet, and we want to hear everything. This is the time. The Chief Justice is proceeding.
So what Liberians been waiting for is on. We're going to be interrupting everything here as soon as we get update coming in from the court with the background and precedents defining. That is another update coming in. The Chief Justice is reading and she's giving the background and precedents and defining the functions of the three branches of government. CEO?
It is only important for her to do so.
Yes.
Because again, nobody should be caught in the cookie's jar.
Yeah.
People can speculate. The media can say what they want to say, for or against, can accuse them. But this is the time for them to show good governance, transparency, and rule according to the Constitution that govern our country, Liberia. Let's go to you real quick. And guys, remember now, like James said, we will have to interrupt. What say you, Damon? She's defining the different branches function because of no one, what say you?
Don't blame me.
So it leads to one particular direction: separation of powers, the doctrine of separation of powers, and the independence of the three branches of government, also with oversight over each other. So by reading constitutionally and defining the roles of the three branches of government and their functions, that is in that direction the Chief Justice is going. So when she gets to all of that, we're looking at the first count as the constitutionality of the majority black and conveying what the speaker in his petition termed as an illegal session. So by going over that and reading the roles and the functions and the precedence of the three branches of government, is in that direction that the Chief Justice is going to set up the case first.
Sylvester, what we?
Yeah, I think Damo got it right. He will be very careful not to interfere into the politics on Capitol Hill, because the lawmakers make
so
the law.
Let's interrupt you there. And after reading the background and precedents, including the definitions of the three branches of government, now she's reading the functions and workings of the Supreme Court. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I mean, like I told you earlier on, I think she's very careful on what she's doing. She don't want to interfere whatever is taking place. There's a separation of power. The three branches of government, they all got their own functions. So she will try to deal with the legal matters, mean the rule of law and what have you. But I don't think she will want to interfere. They are ruling today. I don't think we have to do anything to do with what is happening among the lawmakers. She will definitely be looking at the procedural errors that have to do with legal matters, and to avoid the politics on Capitol Hill or Capitol Building. So that is what I think she will be looking at. Because we are all not to preempt what is taking place in the courthouse until they come out with final ruling. So yes, we can speculate and do whatever.
So first of all, thank you very much. We are receiving information that what is happening, the international community are watching. They are watching seriously. They are watching with very keen eyes, because what's happening right now will either make or break the future generation. But either or, people are going to criticize this ruling and people will celebrate this ruling. So line by line, precinct by precinct, we are here to give you nothing but the best, and we want to say welcome again to Spoon Network. Don't you go anywhere, grab your coffee. It's early in the morning here, it's in the afternoon, get your popcorn, and let's just do the best we can do to get you real-time information. Jump into the show. Another update, James, go ahead.
Yeah, another update. Now she's reading the petition of Speaker Fonati Kofa's Black. That is the complaint that Kofa carried. She is now reading after giving the functions of the Supreme Court, giving the background and precedent and defining the functions of the three branches of government. She's now reading what you see on your
so this
screen.
Is the petition. That's what we were talking about all week. The petitioner's petition. This is what they're going to give their own opinion on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're going to give you all this more. But here we are that they have to answer. And this is big, because Fonati Kofa went in there asking for something. He said, I'm going and this is what I want. Supreme Court, listen, we're going to give you the update, but he prayed upon the Supreme Court. Most respectfully pray your honors to declare the foreign action of the respondent to be unconstitutional and illegal. That's why he begged the Supreme Court. He prayed to the Supreme Court, and today is the day. The Supreme Court said, we heard you, send your lawyer. He sent Arthur Johnson, he sent Councilor Pierre, he sent Councilor Janet, he sent Councilor Seafers, he sent Tewan Gonglo. And this is coming with the opinion. Let's go, talk to me, James.
No, that's all. She's still reading that. And again, we will just to inform our listeners and viewers that we are not allowed to even do recalling from the court or to get audio from the court. So we're just going to be bringing you a text update.
Yep, from the court. And so
if you do it, Ohoye content.
Exactly, because they expect us to be live in the courtroom, which is not
possible.
No,
it's not possible.
No, it's okay. That person that donated that James friend, it's okay. We finish talking to your friend. Hello. So Dama, let's move somewhere with this petitioner petition. And Denise and Lorena, and this is the question we were asking yesterday. Number 1, declare them unconstitutional. Number 2, illegal plenary to unconstitutionally suspend Honorable Edward Flomo. Number 3, illegal restructuring and reconstituting statutory committee. Number 4, unconstitutionally seizing and taking possession of 2025 draft national budget. I mean, go ahead, Lorena, Denise, and we'll bring in Damo. Damo will be the last on this one while James gets a more update from the Supreme Court.
CEO, the speaker, House Speaker Fonati Kofa, everything he put before them, he's the complainant. Everything is right. He's going by the law. He's a lawyer. So everything he put forth is real. It's true. That's the law. His case is supportive according to the laws of Liberia. There was an illegal sitting. Yes, it is. It was, James. There was an illegal sitting. The speakership, I will not use the word hijacked, but we saw what happened. All of a sudden, a new speaker was inducted. 60 days was not given.
But you cannot say there was an illegal sitting. That's why we are at the Supreme Court, Denise.
But Denise, you cannot call it, Denise. Denise, we are reporting what they gave us.
No, that's Lorena. That's Lorena speaking.
Oh, sorry, Denise. Lorena, I'm putting this thing on you. Lorena, we cannot call the shot that it is illegal or they're sitting is illegal. That's why we are the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court will be the one to tell us whether the sitting is illegal. Because when we say it's illegal and the Supreme Court said, no, Lorena, you're wrong. I mean, they got their own rule. So I want us to be mindful. Today, I want to be just in the middle today because I have friends on both sides, but it should be based on the Constitution. So
exactly, sir. It's the Constitution that we are looking at.
Yeah, I mean, he's questioning, his removal and the procedure and manner in which it was done.
Who's speaking, please?
His name is Sylvester Wowi.
Oh, Sylvester, yeah, okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Sylvester.
Sorry, my television or my laptop is giving me a hard time, so I will not be on screen. Yeah. So, yes, I mean, he's questioning his removal, the manner and form in which it was done. For him, the sitting that led to his removal was never legal, according to him. This is something he went to the Supreme Court to seek clarity on. He wanted the Supreme Court to tell him if the sitting that led to his removal is legal or not. He's also questioning the reshuffling or the removal and replacement, subsequent replacement of those he put on committees, and the election of the new speaker or the controversial speaker. Okay, so those are things he wants the Supreme Court to interpret. And the other member of the House of Representatives are saying, look, normally quorum is majority of member of the House. You don't have the number to obtain quorum. We have the number. So we have agreed, we lost confidence in you. We can't sit under your gravel. So we have not decided to elect a new speaker to head this particular House of Representatives because we got a number. So he wanted the Supreme Court to tell him if he can be replaced without obtaining the 49 that is required by law. The Constitution says 49 members of the House of Representatives.
Thank you, Sylvester. Oh, sorry, the name again. Sylvester, right?
Yes.
So we got two Sylvester. Thank you, Sylvester. If another Sylvester comes to apply for a job, you don't give it to him. We're confusing all these Sylvester.
Yeah, so Damo, please.
Damo, let's bring you in and go to Denise.
Yeah, Denise.
Okay, Damo will be the last.
Denise, go.
Yes, so what my colleagues just said, in terms of the speaker Kofar, the embattled speaker Kofar, terming the entire process as illegal, because according to him, he gave premise of Article 49 of the Constitution. When you look at, I think, count 1 also, because he said present. And according to the Constitution, Article 49 talks about in the absence of the speaker by expulsion, death, and all of that. So I think it's based on that he premised his petition that he's present and having all of those issue where removing some of the lawmakers from committees, and also want to the draft budget, seizing the budget in his presence where he has not been removed, he has not been expelled or from the from his duty. I think that's where he premised his entire petition. So, as he said, it's based on the Supreme Court. Based on the Supreme Court, now the entire.
Yeah, let's interrupt you. Let's interrupt you. We will come back to you. Live update. The Chief Justice is still reading petitions from all sides before announcing its own ruling. So they are reading petition from both Speaker Kofa and the majority bloc. And after that, then the Chief Justice will now go to the Supreme Court's actual ruling to tell us who's right, who's wrong, and who's legal and who's not legal. Yeah, continue.
Okay, so.
But we'll finish with Jenny, so you want to continue?
No, she was still talking.
Yes, so what I was saying now that the entire case is before the full bench that having to do with the Chief Justice and the 4 associate justices to interpret whether the entire proceeding was illegal, because Speaker Kofa has a claim that he wasn't present as well, when the entire thing with the removal plot and the resolution, all of that, where they should obtain quorum when he's around in all of those situations. So we hope to see what will be the interpretation from the full bench of the Supreme Court. Yes, that wants to come in, so let me get a chance.
Yeah, thank you. So as rightly being reported by our correspondents in the Supreme Court of Liberia, it's only precedent that the Chief Justice will read the petition. They will read the points from the arguments of both sides before when you hear wherein thereof, meaning they're about to read the ruling or the opinion of the Supreme Court of Liberia. So it's going to take a little bit of time before they get to that, because they have to go over the entirety of the case file that was presented to them. As to which way the CEO asked the question, our former CEO asked the question, there are several counts embedded in the petitioner's petition. One has got to do with the constitutionality of the sitting of the self-styled rebellious majority black, looking at whether they have the authority to remove heads of committees and the rest from the House of Representatives, whether they had the constitutional power, to elect another speaker and all of those things. There are several counts that are in play in that petition. So we have to look at what are the rules of the House of Representatives as well. We should take into consideration that the Constitution is the organic law of our country, and every other law must be in conformity to the Constitution. Any law that is contrary is null or void of our Constitution. So the House's rules are in line with the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia. Was due process followed? We listen to the petition, to the respondents' lawyers, that they sent out communications, to the speaker. He didn't avail himself. That in their argument is giving him due process. He never afforded himself to due process. Now, to be removed by expulsion, whether through expulsion, whether through the suspension, whether through death, whether through incapacitation. And you should also remember in that as well, there is something called orders. So what defines orders? That is something, again, that we should look at when the Supreme Court is ruling. But in all, the Supreme Court is going to look at whether or not action of the majority is in line with the rules of the House of Representatives, and if that too is in line with the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia, and they can argue and say they've got quorum and they've got a presiding officer, they've got clerical staff as well, and they can do business as we've been seeing them doing business, seeing them inviting government officials from the executive. All those things were in line to put in place what they were terming to be their legitimacy.
Correct. Correct. So, Damon, I'm going to bring our legal head, Clinton, from the Spoon Talk, will be joining us to give us the different side of this legal issue. So I think he's Anthony Clinton or Councillor Clinton, but he Clinton, the lawyer or something. So let me bring him on. It's good to see you, Governor. What are you doing? You kicking yourself up or that?
I think he's doing it.
All right. So
I think he's getting prepared.
Yeah, the man put the chopstick on his leg. I saw him do that, so he come back in the back. Yeah, I wanted to bring him on while he was putting the chopstick on.
No, you did. I think the last I was eating, I was finishing my food. He just brought me on, so I'm careful this time.
You want to be careful. It's good to have you, man. Today is D-Day. Decisions. And we are getting live update from the courtroom. Here we are, the Liberia National Supreme Court. They are very busy. They've been busy. We got Glennie also joining us. We will not take over your show, guys. Please, you'll permit us. Just after this ruling, we'll leave it with you guys, but we just want to, yeah, trust me, we will not take over. I get a coffee break and I'll be leaving soon. But let's go through this case. Clinton, welcome. Glennie, welcome. And I'm here with Lorena, Diamond, Denise, James. Good day. Clinton, let's come to you first. Hearing everything, your take.
Look, it's going to be a good day, for the country, whichever way the court rules. It's going to send a powerful message out there that we have the Supreme Court, and that is the final arbiter of justice in our country, and we all have to respect the rulings. I have made from everything I've read, the actions of the
Clinton, can you set your internet?
members.
We are losing you. We are losing you, Clinton. Your internet is just not coming up right.
Yeah, okay. Let me set my internet.
Yeah, please. Glenny, I mean, welcome though. The Supreme Court is basic, and we will interrupt when necessary because this is live.
Okay, let me interrupt you a bit. The Chief Justice is currently quoting Spoon Radio when the speaker appeared on Spoon Talk. So Spoon Talk has appeared in the People case. They are now quoting Spoon Radio. What the speaker said on the radio, that is what she's currently quoting. So Spoon Talk, you're fine.
Wow.
So we are in the ruling.
Yeah, you are in the.
Dama is in the class.
They are quoting what was said on the radio when the speaker appeared. Remember, you had one-on-one with the speaker, right?
Yes.
So key things that he said there are the things that the Chief Justice is now quoting. 100 years from now, people will read and still quote what he said on the radio.
And Damo, just to come in, that is why whenever there's some legal proceeding, sometimes your lawyers will advise that you don't speak, you don't come publicly to make any statement, because sometimes those statements you make can be used against you, in the court.
But then they have not gone to court.
Yeah, but just to chime in a bit, after the speaker appeared on Spoon Talk that fateful night, remember the complaints from the majority black also referenced his appearance on Spoon Talk. That was Spoon Talk, a special edition. They referenced his appearance, especially claims that he made against fellow lawmakers in the famous room 1026. So Spoon Talk has been in this case from the genesis, from the onset. So being referenced in the Supreme Court ruling is only a continuation of the pivotal role we've played in this case.
That is why we are following religiously.
Yeah, so now that is what the Chief Justice is reading.
All right.
Well, how many, real quick before Glenny come in, do we have all 5 members of the Supreme Court, or do we have 4 seated?
Full bench, that is what we got, meaning all 5 of them are currently present.
Can we get more update to confirm, because folks are confused and saying only 4 members? Can we get an update to that, please? I see that Nelson want to come up, but let's go to Glenny. Glenny, I mean, you've been following this thing real quick, and again, please, we are free to interrupt because we got to get live update. Talk to us.
Hello, everybody. It's an interesting day in our country, and I think it's very important that Spoon TV is mentioned, because what that says is even for the majority side, a lot of them were also talking. So I would hope that the Supreme Court also consider some of those things, especially Famula said. But like Clinton said earlier, I like what is happening today because it now gives the Supreme Court the power that it has. They're now the focus that whatever the decision is, Supreme Court of Liberia is the final say. So however this ruling is today, it teaches us that we should be able to respect the authorities and respect the law. I would hope that whatever the ruling is, they have explanations for everything. But I like what's happening today. I'm very excited about the fact that the Supreme Court is all in this situation today. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, thank you. So let's go back. Yes, we have full bench. Am I correct?
Yeah, the full bench is there. So all 5 of them are seated. And now the Chief Justice is reading the side of the Justice Minister.
Yes, the opinion from the Justice Minister. Yeah. Okay. And we heard that the Justice Minister said, take us out of this thing. We got nothing to do with it. Again, it should be what it is. The Justice Minister said that. Justice Minister Oswald Tway. So, James, here we are. Lorena, Denise, Clinton will be joining us. You want to check his internet. He's calling his internet provider to pay his late fees. Then he will come on. It's only important for us to know that we've been joined by hundreds of thousands of Liberians, home and abroad. They are saying, James, you are quite correct. Fonati appearing on Spoon is part of this case because it is helping the Supreme Court to make their decision. what he said then on Spoon 101. It's now moving towards, and that's why they are directly mentioning Spoon. They could have said on the media, right? They could have said, well, talking to the press, but they being direct with what Fonati said on Spoon. So what we are gathering here is that that one-on-one either going to help make or break Speaker Fonati Kofa. James, I mean, what do you make of this? Coming strong like that, people sending us this information.
Yes. You know, see, I'm the one or who?
James, you.
Oh, okay. You know, when the speaker appeared on a one-on-one with you, there were many things that he said. Again, I stop right here. I don't want to go ahead of the Supreme Court. I don't want to say anything before his supporters or those.
Yeah. I'm just saying, about your network, that
I believe that Spoon Talk has been doing well. Spoon Talk has provided a platform for them. I mean, on Capitol Hill for all sides to come and make their points. And again, these people were listening. The Supreme Court, even though at the time the case was not before them, but they were following because they knew at the end of the day it will appear before them. And when the speaker appeared, or the embattled speaker appeared, most of the things he said, they recorded that entire edition of the show. They have them on discs and they play them over and over to rethink and get their points correct. So like what we listen to, and we're going to read the ruling later, we're going to listen to, or we're going to read the points that they highlighted from the show and the significant part that they are playing in the ruling that is coming out currently. So I believe that Spoon Talk has been doing well, and that's what it's.
Thank you. Again, guys, thank you for joining Spoon Talk. This is D-Day. We are in Liberia. We are at the Supreme Court. Wherever you find yourself, we're going to give you nothing but the best. We're going to bring you live from the Supreme Court. It's only when you're going to hear the ruling. Governor, thank you for coming back. Talk to us. Your side of the story, my brother.
With the insurance, really is a lot of money.
I was talking about eating pan, but can we meet that person?
That a lawyer.
I'll call you back, yeah?
Oh, my man, you on the phone, you on the show?
No, my man, you can. I thought you can. Bring people on. I'll tell you on the phone. You bring but yeah, go ahead with your question.
No, you was talking about what you're observing so far. Talk to us.
Well, so again, it's just a previous position. We were hoping that the court is going to base on the laws of the land. These, of course, the Constitution and the rules of the House are based its decision on those. Like we've said on this show 1,000 times, I believe that the majority lawmakers are not following the laws when they leave the gavel of the speaker and go to another room. I think the framers of the Constitution did not intend for the legislature to function in that manner. So it will be interesting to see what the court ruling is. I know they're probably announcing the ruling right now, but we're looking to see what are those key points and where are those reliance and what is the final determination is to talk more about it.
So thank you. Indeed, we are getting more updates. And can somebody find what Tricon is? Adama, where are you? Can come back on. I think you took a break. Your break time is over. This is no break time, but we have to find what Tricon is because it's only important that we have those that was stationed that they be on their assignment because today is no time to break off. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Spoon Talk. This is your network. This is Spoon Network. We want to assure you that we will give you everything you need to know. Again, thank you for joining Spoon. Hundreds of thousands of you listening in the interior, around the country, out of the country, on Facebook and other social media outlets. We want to say thank you. Right now, the justice is proceeding accordingly. James, talk to me.
Yeah, so let's cross over to the Supreme Court and listen to the guys to know what's happening from the court. Yeah, Nelson, welcome. Nelson? Nelson, please talk to us.
While we wait for Nelson,
go ahead.
If you get Nelson in your ear, then you can bring him on. Let me ask you though. Legally, the Chief Justice read the petitioner's petition, Clinton.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe that's a normal thing to do, but you think which side is Chief Justice also make mention of Spoon Network interview with the speaker? Now, I want you to get into the mind of the Chief Justice and give us something. What are you taking out of what she's doing right now?
What did she say when she mentioned the speaker's appearance on Spoon?
Who are we getting, James? Are you bringing him on, or can we continue?
It's Nelson. Nelson is trying to come through.
Okay, but
Nelson, are you there?
all right. So when we get him, then we can unmute his mic. Somebody have to, talk to him in the ear. So Clinton, I mean, did you watch the one-on-one with Speaker Kofa?
No, I missed that. So I missed that. So I was trying to get. I know Good was trying to update what he was hearing from the court. If Good if you could, update us on what the Chief Justice was. Did she reference specific comments that the speaker made on Spoon?
No, we did not. We just telling you, giving you key points of what's happening. We're gonna get a ruling later. At the time she was reading what the speaker said on Spoon Talk when he appeared with the CEO, but we never had a full text.
The fact that she even mentioned that interview, Clinton, what that says to you, man?
Well, when you make a lot of comments, the court can look to some of those comments, So, what if the speaker has said on Spoon that the sitting of the majority bloc was legal, right? So, if by his own admission he believed that the sitting was legal, then the court can take that into consideration. So, it will be interesting to see what specific things that they reference in that opinion. Right now is hard to really say, but I would really love to hear what specific reference she was making to the comments he made on Spoon.
No, we don't have it. We just giving key points. Yeah, Nelson, go ahead and talk to us. What's the latest update in terms of security and the crowd in the compound?
Nelson.
All right. We hope to get Nelson. We hope to get Nelson as soon as he's ready.
There he is. Nelson, if you can get us, go ahead, Nelson. Nelson, you need to unmute.
Yeah, we're gonna get him. As soon everything is okay, we will get him.
Go ahead, Nelson.
Who we got, James? Who we got?
Yeah, we're gonna pause. We will pause for Nelson. We're not getting his audio.
Yeah. All right. So again, guys, in an update, is the Supreme Court Chief Justice still reading what we last reported?
Yeah, the last time she was reading the side of the Justice Ministry. We are yet to get update whether she's done with that, but I see our correspondent texting in about a minute. We're gonna get another update.
Damon, bring us up to speed, Damon, from some of your sources, because you guys in and out with different sources.
Are we there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Shogun, you are live.
Okay, thank you so much, the team in studio, for rejoining us on the grounds of the Temple of Justice in Monrovia. I can tell you that the number of Liberians who have come to witness this case, the number continue to swell on the grounds of the Temple of Justice in Monrovia as we await the end of the final ruling, we been informed that the reading is currently ongoing as we speak, and the joint security, the Liberia National Police, they keep coming in. We see a patrol pickup of the Liberia National Police filled with police officers who have come to ensure to provide security for lawmakers and citizens who have come, including journalists who have gathered here today to update the public about what's happening on Capitol Hill.
Chokon, before we let you go, in terms of violence, do we have supporters who are going after one another?
Absolutely no, James. We only saw supporters of Speaker J. Fonanti Kofa who were here earlier on. They are still with placards in support of the Speaker. Some of the inscriptions on the placard, the Speaker is a God-sent Speaker to the country, justice for Speaker Fonanti Kofa, and so many other inscriptions on those placards the women have, and they are still here awaiting the outcome of the ruling as we all wait outside of the premises of the Supreme Court of Liberia.
Chokon, my question to you is, usually when you have these events happening, especially a landmark ruling or opinion from the Supreme Court as it is, with all sides invested in it, what's the atmosphere like, the noise level? Is it quiet? People listening to Spoon, preferably in other stations that are relaying it, doing it as far.
I can clearly tell you and the team.
Let me interrupt. Choke on 1 minute.
Yes.
Again, guys, get our guys to send us this update. I think they are reading Article 33 from some of our other reporters, I believe, James and Damo, Lorena. You gotta get our guys in the courtroom. They are now reading Article 33. Damo, let me hold you right there. How is it so important, Clinton, that they bring
we still have Chokon to complete.
No, let Chokon wait 1 minute. We got to talk about this very quick. Chokon, please hold on 1 minute. Clinton, reading Article 33, what's the strength? I mean, you as a legal person now, what are you thinking, Chokon? I mean, Clinton, reading Article 33.
Sandra, again, it's difficult to know from what perspective the Chief Justice is reading the opinions from. It's difficult because I don't know in what context he's reading it. But if you put Article 33 up on the screen, so it will be helpful to the.
Yeah, do we have it, James? James Lev, I think we should put it up. I have some of them here. Dama, Lorena, let's put Article 33 up. I think James just went up.
Yeah, trying to get it to pass it over to Lorena Controls to have it up.
Yeah, so these different articles will be only important for us to understand.
I wanted you to put it up before I discuss it because Article 3 talks about quorum. You know that the majority bloc has been arguing that they have quorum because they have simple majority. So what the Constitution says in Article 33 is a simple majority of the House constitute quorum for the conduct of businesses. So they've argued that because they have the simple majority, there was 37, I believe, members, and so they can conduct quorum. But the flip side to that is the article also said that a lower number may adjourn from day to day and compel the attendance of the absent members. So now, do we have quorum where the speaker is and he's adjourning from day to day and using that provision to compel absent members, or do we have quorum anytime 37 members are in the room outside of the speaker? So I think that's very important for me because I've said that the declaration of what are the actions of the 37 members is.
James have an update. Go ahead, James.
Yeah, the Chief Justice has said, or she made it clear that according to Article 49 of the Constitution, the Supreme Court has jurisdiction to rule over the case. and she is still reading. She said the court has, and now taking pieces of, taking portion from all sides and quoting portions of the Constitution. So she said the Supreme Court has the right to rule in the case according to Article 49, and now she's taking pieces from their argument and quoting constitutional backings.
You are talking about the argument that was done last week, right?
Yeah.
So now we got Article 33. We put that up. Can we put Article
49?
49 as well. Please let's try to update it. So finish up, Clinton. Now we're getting both Article 33 requirement for conducting legislative businesses, including the quorum needed to conduct business and the ability to compel the attendance of absent members.
Okay, so to interrupt you again, she has been laying emphasis on Articles 33, 49, and 66 of the Liberian Constitution. So the Chief Justice lay emphasis on Articles 33, 49, and 66.
James, it will only be fair that since we're trying to put these articles up, that we just read them quickly for our listeners who don't have the luxury of seeing these articles posted on the screen. So Article 33 says, simple majority of each house shall constitute a quorum for the transaction of business, but a lower number may adjourn from day to day and compel the attendance of absent members.
Correct.
The House of Representatives and the Senate shall meet in joint session. The presiding officer of the House of Representatives shall preside. That's Article 33, pointing to simple majority and what the minority can do to compel absent members. Now we move to Article 49 of the 1986 Constitution.
This is 44. Give us 49, Davin.
Okay, that was 33, sir. And now
33.
49.
And
Article
66.
49. The House of Representatives shall elect once every 6 years a speaker, who shall be the presiding officer of that body, a deputy speaker, and such other officials as shall ensure the proper functioning of the House. The Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, and other officers so elected may be removed from office for cause by resolution of a 2/3 majority of the members of the House, in reference to Speaker Kofa's portion of his petition that, the majority didn't give him due process to have him removed. We move to Article 66.
66.
Article 66 of the 1986 Constitution says, the Supreme Court shall be final arbiter of constitutional issues and shall exercise final...
Hold on 1 minute, James. Hold on. Finish up.
Go ahead, I'm going to conclude.
Should I continue?
Yeah.
When our reporter said the Chief Justice was referencing the authority of the court, this is the article she was quoting, Article 66. The Supreme Court shall be the final arbiter of constitutional issues and shall exercise final appellate jurisdiction in all cases, whether emanating from courts of record, courts not of record, administrative agencies, autonomous agencies, or by any other authority, both as to law and fact, except cases involving ambassadors, ministers, or cases in which a country is a party. In all such cases, the Supreme Court shall exercise original jurisdiction. The legislature shall make no law or create any exceptions as who deprive the Supreme Court of any of the powers granted herein. The constitutionality and the power of the Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia is highlighted in 66.
Yeah, another update coming in. She is now on the workings, functions, and leadership of the House of Representatives. So she's really on the workings, functions, and leadership of the House of Representatives.
So let me come in, Damo, and maybe I will ask Glendy and the rest of the team and Clinton. They say at this point, the Chief Justice is wrapping up the argument preferred by all sides, then analyze all laws cited by both parties and then states how they apply in the case. The next phase will be the court's opinion, right? And that's exactly what she do. Am I right, Clinton?
Yes, that's exactly what she's doing. So she's going to read the facts of the case, the arguments raised. She will tie it to the laws, and then they'll run an opinion. You're muted, Stanton.
Well, if you're just joining us, this is Spoon 107.5 FM. We are also live on Fabric 101.1. We are bringing you live updates from the Supreme Court regarding the case from the House of Representatives. So if you are there, we welcome you. Share the show, listen, watch. I know you are awaiting the results. We are all awaiting, and so we are here to make sure you get all the information that you need. We have a full house, some of the Spoon Talk panelists. I'm also here with my colleagues, and we also have some of our reporters there at the Supreme Court. So CEO, welcome.
I think he's on the phone. We will get to him. So while we are waiting the CEO to come back, let's cross over to the Supreme Court and talk to Chukon a bit. Chukon, tell us exactly what's the latest update.
Nothing, and the rest of the team, James and the rest of the team in studio, thank you for rejoining us here on the grounds of the Supreme Court in Monrovia on Capitol Hill as we await the final judgment into the conflict on Capitol Hill today. Like I was saying earlier on, that majority of those who have come to or listening or to follow this case on today, they have been listening, following Spoon TV, and some of those people have said to us that we are following you people, and they have been commending us for the work we do. But on the flip side of that, we saw earlier on supporters from the majority. They were standing around talking about the speaker from the other side of the joint chambers, Speaker Richard Kuhn of the majority bloc. They were saying this is the time. They were anticipating and expressing their view that the speaker will take the day, and while the other people are on the other side and saying Speaker J. Funanti Kofa remains the legitimate speaker of the Republic of Liberia, and that's why they are also gathered here in support of the speaker. So we are waiting to see what's going to happen.
All right, Chukon, thank you. So in a few minutes, she's going to be breaking the news. That is, she will be telling us exactly who's right, who's wrong.
Let me say something real quick. I do not want us to get ahead, but I think indeed something is happening here, Clinton. A win is coming up. A win is coming up, Clinton. Understanding that the Chief Justice said they have all right to be part of this case, to take this case. They have jurisdiction over the case. That was actually going against the majority black to say you have no jurisdiction. The Chief Justice said, no, we do. The Chief Justice now moving to say, I can say this. I think our reporter wanted to be so direct, but something is happening in the courtroom right now. Somebody feeling the momentum of victory, or SAR feeling the momentum of victory. And I will not be the one to break this thing prematurely. Yes, but the SAR is feeling a little relief. The momentum of victory is on one side, and I want us to, James, get in contact with our courtroom reporter. Let us send everything immediately because something is happening. She's breaking the news. She's breaking the news. Yep.
So I just wanted to comment that these three articles are very significant. Article 33, Article 49, and 66 is clear. It clears it out that yes, we have authority. These are the people that should be in charge of the House of Representatives. And number 3, the House of Representatives cannot make its own laws. If you
But
just
hold
look at
on 1 minute, Granny, hold on 1 minute. If and only if, and this is important now, let's be on the record, folks, listen to us. If the Chief Justice says that any sitting that is not concomitant with those articles of the House rule is illegal, is that a double win for Fanati Kofa? I'm saying it
is a double win for Fanati Kofa.
Yeah, it will be a double win.
Double win for Fanati.
And again, the if is being so big because we are live on this thing. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, it's when I can get in Zico. Something is coming up. Somebody is feeling so good. Another team is feeling so good. But again,
but Stanton, if I may, right, Stanton.
I see people celebrating.
Yeah, let's join the capital.
Let's join.
The Supreme Court.
What is
Come tell us what's happening.
Yeah, in the need co-father.
Veracity, please come through.
Now, who do we have right now? Where is Nelson? So the Chief Justice said the majority black conducted themselves in ultra violence. I think that's it. If what she means is true, the majority black conducted themselves in ultra virus. And somebody got to help us understand, who do we have at the Supreme Court, James? People are
we're trying to get them.
Virus means they acted beyond their legal power and authority.
From the jubilation,
Acted out of their authority, they acted beyond their authority, and of their authority, what they did was illegal. They didn't have the authority to do so.
So it shows that the minority bloc headed by
it shows exactly. And let me say this, and I want our reporter to bring it on. It shows that Fanati Kofa is in the lead to win this. We cannot confirm. We cannot confirm 100%. But it shows that Fanati Kofa is in the lead to win this as per the ruling. But we can only have the document, ladies and gentlemen. We can only have the result to confirm everything.
Okay,
that's what you said. Who do we have?
Nelson, Nelson.
Nelson, go ahead.
Nelson, collect. Nelson, go ahead.
You are fasting for the kids?
All right, so let's read this. Let's pause everything. I think we are getting a 5-for-5 decision. I think we are getting a 5 when the Supreme Court of Liberia asked the House of Representatives to conduct itself in an ultra. Can we mute the jubilation for a minute? In an ultra virus manner, it applies that the House is being accused of action beyond its legal or constitutional power. This could occur if the House engages in activities or make decisions that fall outside the authority granted to it by the constitutional or relevant laws. For instance, the Supreme Court might intervene if the House takes action that are not within the scope of its legislative power or violate procedural norms established by the Constitution. If the House action are deemed ultra-virus, the court could rule them invalid, instructing the House to act within its legal boundaries. An example might include the House passing laws or making decisions on matters that are outside of its constitutional role or purview, such as encroaching on the power of the executive or judiciary. The Supreme Court, as the final arbiter in legal matter, has the authority to clarify and enforce constitutional limits on the legislature power. For my end, the Supreme Court has asked the House of Representatives to conduct itself in an ultra virus. Clinton. Are we going back on ground of the Supreme Court, James Dama?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So we are going to join the Supreme Court. Nelson? Nelson, please unmute and come through.
All right, so Clinton, let's hear you.
Look, you want me to continue with listening down?
So why you so happy? You knew that
No,
Kowa was going to win?
so hold on 1 minute. Let me mute the people coming in first. Let's set this in order to see whether this is a win for now, or see whether the majority Black have won this or Fonati have won this. Now, I know people are celebrating, but let's get the document in hand, right, Damo? Let's understand where we are, right, James? Because it's only fair. Yeah. The people can celebrate. Let's go to Marvin Cole. What Marvin Cole and Safoko say? They are celebrating with Marvin Cole and Safoko. The group are celebrating.
What's up? What you need?
That's most ability. So let's unmute.
Why are we not unmuted them? Who's in there?
So why will you be expecting in this to come?
We still have to reconcile. Because what the court cannot do for us is reconcile the house. Now that the court has decided what is right and wrong, we should respect it, but at the same time, we should reach out to our colleagues to come to session and solve our problem.
Thank you.
So what Musa have just said, talk to our police to come in session, Clinton.
This is significant.
Clinton, are you with us?
We are not.
I'm here. It's a lot of deep emotions.
All right, hold on. Let's listen to Samuel Koga.
What's our own understanding about the ruling of that?
The court said the issue of majority, the phrase should be interpreted in totality, meaning Article 33 is intended that majority should be able to transact business. Where majority will be absent is at that point the lower number can compare their colleague to come. People could be outside, but there have been quorum, and that quorum has been established, and the speaker has been removed. There's a new speaker going down to transact.
Is that what the court did not mention anything about court?
No, listen, the majority is transacting business, and that business has been able to establish a new speaker. We're still going to transact business and lead with that mandate.
But the court, the speaker did not say a new speaker has been removed.
The clear mandate of the Supreme Court is to interpret. They can interfere with a matter. So what they're telling you?
So it means that you are coming back to what the PD is right.
The right thing is to actually keep your Article 33 that we have explained to you and you are not accepted that the majority will transact business and the speaker is Honorable Richard going now.
Yes.
So now let's get everybody on.
The grounds of the Temple of Justice in Monrovia, the majority bloc are claiming that the ruling is in their favor, while minority bloc supporters are also claiming that this ruling was
this is a murky ruling and again, Clinton.
Yes.
Clinton, let me have you. Hold on 1 minute.
Theo, we can
listen. Let's listen.
Welcome to school. What's your impression today from the experience?
The court is attacking business for the interpretation of the Supreme Court. And I think it's clear that going forward, the Liberian people will understand that in such a case, like we said, as the majority bloc, quorum is the basis of conducting the business at the House of Representatives. Said it down to our number to our police, they did not understand it to the extent they had to run to the Supreme Court. And what we continue to say was just re-echoed by the Supreme Court. Listening to the findings of the Supreme Court used Article 33 of the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia. That there were two phrases that were always misinterpreted. one that called for simple majority to conduct business. And the minority side were always criminal. The minority will compel members to come to work. And in relation to the Supreme Court, the justice said that what is defined within the Supreme Court is in the criminal mind of the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia that there will always be members who may not be present. So in that case, the minority will join. But to establish the business of the House of Representatives is always the majority. And on that basis, the sitting of the majority is legal, and it means that the first decision of the Supreme Court to decline to file a reappraisal was also withheld. So today is in your favor. So what is always understood and why is workable is around the world, democracy call for majority. The minority will have their say, but the majority will always have it.
Thank you so much, Representative Alpha Jones of Margibi County.
The second issue, there was what we refer to as the contention or the prayer of the petitioners. The prayer of the
Yeah, so let's see if we get Nelson.
Representative Flomo, today is the final day. What do you make of the ruling today?
The law is a law, and we pray that to go by the law. The law is a law. We can't get someone jump and go sit down and executive magistrate declare themselves as president and knowing that the country is a rule, is a country of law. So at the end of the day, we all go by the law. The law is a law. They should respect the law and do the best appropriate thing that will be in the interest of the people.
So today's case is in your favor. Today's ruling.
It's not only in my favor, but the case today, the ruling, it shows that we should do the right thing in the country. And in how much I will do the right thing at the end of the day, you're going to see what's going to happen. But if you get people who feel that they're above the law, can do anything, tomorrow you get another 40%, 43% coming to say the electing speaker, which is wrong.
What's your own understanding about the Supreme Court ruling, sir, please?
Well, even though I was not here, I was listening. But at the end of the day, the law is the law, and we should respect the law. That's why we all here. And you saw when the court hold to the process, everybody said, well, no session in the past, I think, or 4 session working days. So everybody was respecting the law. So at the end of the day, in how much the Supreme Court have ruled and come out to one ruling, we should respect the law and do the best.
And what ruling? Do you think the Supreme Court ruling notify your suspension?
My suspension? But it shows that everything was in legal or not legal.
So, Representative Colette, are you saying that even with the ruling from the Supreme Court, the majority black is going to do business, continue doing business? Wouldn't that be a disrespect to the Supreme Court?
No, that's not the ruling. They say when you say declare the people action unconstitutional, the people, and why? Because Article 33 says the minority shall compel the majority. The court say there is no law that will make the minority to compel the majority. The Supreme Court says that in interpreting the Constitution, it must be interpreted in a totality. Now with a specific phrase, the Supreme Court say in the act, the speaker as presiding, the deputy speaker is the presiding. And he said, what do you want here again? So it's a victory for the majority.
In the midst of everything you say, folks on the minority block are already celebrating. You saw Honorable Foko being lifted by some of the supporters.
No, they don't understand why there's unfolding. They don't understand why there's unfolding. This is not sentiment.
So you think they're celebrating? You think they're celebrating as a result of misunderstanding of the
exactly? And know this. After the ruling, I went to my lawyer interpreter. But I challenged to none of them a lawyer. The judge ruled the ring. I said, ooh. And I went to my lawyer. Counsel Sharma has told me the court was not able to pass on this matter But from what you prayed for once, your prayer was not accepted. The prayer was denied.
Okay.
The prayer was denied.
So
when the prayer is
what's the
denied,
next action? What's the next plan of action for the majority black? What's the next plan of action?
to ensure that we do like Brentford business, Richard Nangbeku is a speaker of the 50th legislature, and we are now calling on the executive to ensure that all immunities in the name of the speakership with that former speaker that called himself Kofa, the Grand Crew representative, that everything is retrieved from him and sent over to the right speaker of the 50th legislature.
Thank you very much for attending the Spoon TV.
Madam,
All right, CEO, I think we can leave them right there and cross back to our team here.
Yeah, so let's go back because we got the ruling. Can you bring us on? And thank God to have the rest of the guys here. We got the ruling. I'm uploading them. We have this ruling. You know, we couldn't just come up with this ruling because it was so bad for us to go ahead. But Clinton, I want you to pay attention to this. Guys, yes, the first page of the ruling, I put it in the chat room. I'm going to put the second page. The unconstitutionality of serious action taken by certain members of the House of Representatives. Now, Clinton, the unconstitutionality, what that tells you, let's run through this thing real quick while I share the rest of the ruling. Clinton, what I tell you, they're saying X, Y, and Z. They say the unconstitutionality of some members. Talk to me, Clinton. Then we can go around the table.
That's pretty much the title of the case. Pretty much the unconstitutionality of several actions. So we know there were a number of actions that were taken by the majority black. One, the move towards a section outside of the speaker. Two, we know that they elected a new speaker. We know that they suspended members from different committees. So those are the three code actions taken by members of the majority black that the COFA black referred to as unconstitutional. So those are the actions that this ruling will be referring to.
So can we go into the ruling? Can we go step by step? I think you have it. Dama, you want to read the first paragraph here? It's in our chat room to open it, read it for those in the radio land. Let me upload the last 2 pages. This is what came out of the Supreme Court. And again, we want to say this is big, but it's so murky. Like Uncle Sam said, it is. It's not too clear. Both sides are claiming Wayne said the one. Damon, read this one for us real quick, and I will bring in the next 2 pages, please.
Okay, so from the top, it says, in the Honorable Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia, sitting in its October term, AD 2024, before Her Honor, Sianen G.U., Chief Justice, before Her Honor, James Etta H. Wolokoli, Associate Justice, before His Honor, Yusuf D. Kaba, Associate Justice, before His Honor, Yemi Kwekwe Senior, Associate Justice, and before Her Honor, Sianen D. Clinton Johnson, Associate Justice, in reference to the unconstitutionality of several actions taken by certain members of the House of Representatives. When this case was called for hearing, Councillors James E. Pierre and Arthur Tamba Johnson appeared for the petitioners. Councillor G. Vani Sherman Sr. and Garrison D. Yelu Jr. appeared for the respondents. Councillor Augustine C. Fire, Solicitor General, Republic of Liberia, Jerry D. K. Balowu, Assistant Minister for Litigation, and Joel E. Towe, Assistant Minister for Economic Affairs for the Ministry of Justice. They appeared for the Ministry of Justice. Having carefully examined the contentions of the parties, listened to the arguments on both sides, and considered the laws relevant thereto, it is hereby. That's where it stops, and I can go to the second page.
The second page is right there. Go ahead, Dama. Thank you.
It is hereby adjudged.
Is that the second page?
That is the second page, but you haven't put it up yet. I'm looking.
Yeah,
okay, hold on 1 minute. Hold on 1 minute, Dama. I got it. I'm sorry. Okay, this is the second page. So let me put it up down one. Just
so this case here, nobody is
all right, so it's what then 11:51. So Dama, you have it. There you go. This folks, we allow Dama to read this because this is the ruling. This is the ruling. Go ahead, Dama.
It is hereby adjudged that the Supreme Court, pursuant to Article 66 of the Constitution, and it quotes, shall be the final arbiter of constitutional issues and shall exercise final appellate jurisdiction in all cases, whether emanating from the courts of record, court not of records, administrative agencies, autonomous agencies, or any authority, both as to the law and fact. Hence, the Supreme Court has the jurisdiction to decide constitutional issues arising out of the internal distinctions among members of the legislature, as in the present case. That it is the law in vogue that the Constitution must be interpreted in light of the entire document rather than a secret pronouncement, because every provision of the equal importance and where there is apparent discrepancy between different provisions, the court should harmonize them if possible. That this court's interpretation of Article 33 of the Constitution of 1986 is that whether a simple majority is sitting or a lower number, in both cases, a presiding officer defined in Article 49 of the Constitution is the Speaker, and in his or her presence, the Deputy Speaker. That in the event where the Speaker is presiding over a minority, the Constitution is devoid of the mechanism for how the minority is to compel attendance of absent members. And the legislature has promulgated no enabling statute or standing rules setting forth the process for compelling absentee members to attend sessions as envisioned under Article 33 of the Constitution. And that under these circumstances, the Supreme Court cannot do for the legislature what is within its purview to do, as to do so will be in violation of the constitutional mandate of separation of powers. So that is the second page. We can go to the third page.
See, all right, Dama, you want to hear me? Let's go to the third page.
So the third page that reads, wherefore, and in view of the foregoing, any sittings or actions by members of the legislature not in conformity within the intent of Articles 33 and 49 of the Constitution are ultra varied. Hence, members of the House of Representatives are to conduct themselves accordingly. The clerk of this court is ordered to inform the parties, and it is hereby so ordered.
So let's come home. A lot of different, and ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining Spoon. We just shared, James, while we're going through this, can you post it real quick? We just shared the ruling, and listen, say what you want to say. But I'm getting similar version, right, Glendy, from Colonel Barbara that was trying to enter the court. He says something that is shaking. We'll reach out to the majority black. We'll reach out to the minority black. But are we seeing a clear winner yet, Clinton?
Look, there is a clear winner. Anybody who's reading they're reading the ruling, I don't know what kind of lens they're reading. Look, remember the very first time, or maybe the second time, when I appear on Spoon, I talk about Article 33, and I talk about the provisions that when the simple majority may conduct business, but a lower number may adjourn from day to day and compel members. But I said there was nothing in the Constitution. The Constitution does not say how. The Constitution does not say how that lower number will compel the absent member, and the legislature have not promulgated any rules for that. Now, and this is what the Supreme Court is affirming. The Supreme Court is saying that whenever a lower number is sitting, so whenever the simple majority is sitting or a majority is sitting, the speaker, under Article 49, the speaker is the presiding, or in his absence, the deputy speaker. So what they are saying is go back and do as the intent of Article 33 and 49 says, which is whether you are sitting as a simple majority or you are sitting as a minority, the speaker is presiding, and in his absence, the deputy speaker. In this case, where Funati have said he was there all along, and he has been willing, and he has been presiding over a minority. So there is no absence for the speaker in this case. So you can't argue that the deputy speaker should have resided in this case, because the ruling clearly said that in his absence, in this case, you don't have absent Funati. So the Supreme Court is saying go back and conduct your setting in accordance with Article 33 and 49. So this is a win for Funati. The only confusion here, and it's because of the law, and the Supreme Court said because of the doctrine of separation of powers, we can't force what the law does not provide. So what the court is saying, look, there is nothing in the laws that can make us to compel the majority members to come and sit with.
Well, let me hold you there and bring in Glennie. Then I'll bring in a member from the majority black. For the formula will be called in. Member from the minority black will be called in. And again, this is a special edition of the Spoon Network. I don't know how James or Dama or Lorena Denise named this other show, but I'm going to leave it with you and call it the Spoon Talk special edition.
Then can we just conclude and leave here?
No, you're not leaving. Why are you in a hurry? When a giant in town, the devil run.
We want to give you
Glennie, talk to me real quick before I bring in 40. Talk to me.
So one thing that's significant and I think it's a good thing that Spoon TV was able to come on and try to talk about it. The ruling is clear for me. And what stands out to me is the word that is the unconstitutional word. That word it speaks volume. That whatever you did was unconstitutional, and you need to go back and start from where you are. However, whatever group wants to interpret it, that's up to them. The Supreme Court has also said we can't force you to follow this, but we have jurisdiction to look into this case. And what we've done, based on what we look at, we're saying that what you've done is illegal. You need to go back. So all of those people in the majority, they need to go home, leave the hotel, and go back to work.
Okay, let me leave the people in the hotel. Let me leave the people in the hotel alone.
I really do have to leave, but let them go home and go do the people work. Simple.
Yeah. It's good that you came on, and I will see you tonight for the bigger Spoon Talk. Thank you, Glennie. Let me bring in more Adi. Then from there we go to 40 family. Guys,
let me bring on more Ali. The unconstitutionality that Glennie referenced is the title. It's the title of.
Yeah, I wanted to make her to understand.
It is not written in the ruling.
Yes.
Unconstitutionality. It's the title, and the judgment is referencing that title.
Yes. They did not say they are unconstitutional.
Yes. So it's a good point you are making. Fatima, on woman will bring you on more. Talk to us more. You live.
Okay, so Stanton, my view is that Funati carry a case to the court. Funati pray for several things. Now, if we want to look at the ruling objectively, let's look at what Funati pray for. Funati says the action of the majority black is unconstitutional. That's one. Number two, that the majority black should go back and do it properly. They should give him due process. That the majority black should sit under him. Compare those, read out his prayers and compare it to the ruling. The majority black said, look, the action we took It is an action of the legislature, and this has nothing to do with the Supreme Court. We are working within our confines, and they pray the Supreme Court to throw the case out. That's what the majority black said. Look at ruling there. On the main matter, the Supreme Court said, we cannot do for you what you're supposed to do for yourself. First, compare people to come. The Supreme Court said there's no means over there to compare people to come. You're the one supposed
and I know we'll have you on tonight, Mo Ali. Mo Ali, there's a lot of calls coming on. We'll have you on tonight. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let me bring in. But you want to come on live, sir?
Yeah, okay.
Hello?
These guys are interesting.
All right, so let me bring in 40. Let me bring in 40 real quick. Let me bring in 40 guys. You're gonna hang out. Oh, we got only 10 more minutes here because we gotta let you guys go. Y'all don't worry. You gotta hang out with us short, real quick. Y'all don't listen to James. James feeling bad right now.
No, don't put me in pressure.
I need to make 1 point before.
Hold on 1 minute. Let me bring in 40. Hold on 1 minute. Let me bring in 40. You live. You on Spoon Talk.
Yeah, so today is a very good day for the Republic of Liberia. We have had some lawyers, some panelists in.
For I know you're receiving call. Can you talk to us?
The Supreme Court was very clear as to their ruling today. One, they said in the context of Article 33, they believe that the parties were acting separately and the lower number can only compare in their absence, and there's no law provided for that. But for the transaction of business, in keeping with Article 49, where the speaker is absent, the deputy speaker, and we have quorum to transact business, the Supreme Court did not rule that our setting was illegal, meaning we have acted legally and we proceed with our decision. It has been very clear, and I think that's the reason why the guys are afraid to acknowledge that they have lost. All of the prayers that the former speaker prayed for before the Supreme Court, none was granted him. None. So what I've always said on this medium was that we believe our action has always been legal, and we're acting to transact business to ensure that the interests of the Liberian people was always protected and promoting the interests of the people. So today the Supreme Court validated that argument and did not grant Honorable Kofa the argument that our setting was illegal. So that's a win for us as a majority. We are going to proceed.
Are you going back on Tuesday? Are you going back?
Representative Richard Kuhn will preside because they gave notice that Honorable Kofa was given due process. They read it in their ruling totality.
For the allow us to ask you a quick question here. And everyone listen to you, so please allow us. Are you going back on Tuesday to do business as usual?
We are going on Tuesday where Richard Kuhn will preside as Speaker of the 55th Legislature in keeping with our rules, and that this is a victory for us, and we are proceeding in keeping with our actions, that we have the number to transact business people. That is the essence of
my next question before we go to the guys. Do you recognize Fonati as the speaker as of the court ruling today?
As of the court ruling, Honorable Fonati is the former speaker. The court did not notify our action. The court did not say our sitting was illegal, because Fonati said where we sat was illegal. They should notify that process. That was the constitutionality of his request.
Are you going to give Fonati Kofa? Are you going to give Fonati Kofa due process?
You did not raise anything about due process because we said we gave him due process.
So are we back to square one, sir?
No, we have passed square one now. We are ahead. We're moving forward. The court has validated our decision. They have not said our action was unconstitutional, and you have been following the conversation. Most of the panelists have said our action was unconstitutional. If the court were going to say today our action was unconstitutional, believe me, I will work only for that day and calling Mr. Speaker. Take my word for it.
Okay, do you guys have question for 40? For the 1 minute real quick, is anyone have question for 40?
Let me ask 40.
Clinton, go ahead.
The Supreme Court in this ruling said its interpretation of Article 33 and 49 is whether a majority is sitting or a lower number is sitting, the speaker is the presiding. And in its conclusion, it said, wherefore any action by members of the legislature not in conformity with Article 33 and 49 is ultra vires, which means is beyond your power. And you say the court did not say your actions is wrong.
So let me say this to you, Clinton. Maybe you need to read the ruling. The first thing the court said, the speaker said he was acting in keeping with Article 33, the lower number to compare members. The majority was acting in keeping with Article 33 to ensure that they were transacting business. And if you are to read the Constitution, you are to consider the phrase in totality. The fact that they were transacting business, and in the absence of the speaker, which is Article 49, the deputy speaker.
The speaker was not absent, sir. He was in country.
Hey, please listen to me. You are talking, I was listening to you. But please listen to me at the end, then you can come back. They said Article 49, in the absence of the speaker, this deputy speaker can preside. In the absence of the speaker, where the deputy speaker presided over that quorum. So it was legal. If they were going to say our sitting was unconstitutional, believe me, it means that was a very big win, and that was why Fonati was arguing. We should not change the rules in the middle.
So hold on 1 minute. Let me bring in Diamond, Denise, Lorena. Good day. You guys have questions because we've already got to bring in other folks here. I know Fode will come back tonight. We'll have that argument. Diamond, you have any question?
I do have a question for the Honorable Sylvester Worry has got a question.
Sylvester, come in before we go to James. Sylvester, come in.
Okay, Honorable Fode, where will your next sitting be here? Tuesday, where will you sit?
Will be in the joint chamber. Our next sitting will be decided by the speaker, Honorable Kuhn, and as such, I'm convinced that it might be in the joint chamber where we have had section consistently.
Why not in the new chamber?
Is gavel and decide where to move. You know, people on the radio have always said our sitting was illegal. Today, I expected the Supreme Court to say we are unconstitutional.
Thank you. Good. Do you have comment or question?
Always said that we have
no. Lorena, do you have comment or question?
No.
No. Denise,
I don't have question.
It's okay.
Okay, Fatima, you want to come in? Do you have question for Fode before we let him go?
No, I just want to congratulate him because they've always said that their sitting was not illegal. And as a supporter of them, I believe that today the Supreme Court ruled in their favor. The Supreme Court did not say that they were illegally sitting. The Supreme Court acknowledged what they've been doing. They have a quorum and they've been doing the people's business. So I'm congratulating him. Congratulations, Honorable, for the family.
So I don't know where people are reading.
Thank you. So hold on, Clinton. So Clinton, back one second because we got about 5 more minutes here. Fode, thank you very much for coming on, and we'll see you tonight on the show.
So thank you again, Stanton. I believe this is the.
Go ahead, Fode.
Our constitution, because Liberia has won, and we look forward to the leadership of Honorable Kuhn. Thank you once more.
Thank you. We'll see
this evening where we analyze the ruling and move forward with all of the phrases in our rule.
Thank you very much, Honorable Fode. I'm going to take 2 more calls and let's hear them. Then we're going to leave because we know you have your other segment coming on, Lorena. Let me say this real quick. Let me mute myself and talk to me briefly till I can interrupt you, Fatima.
Well, as I was saying, I was listening to the Supreme Court rule, and as panelists and journalists, we've always been on this platform, and people have been saying they were sitting illegally. But if you are on top of
Fatima, let me interrupt you, please. I'm going to bring in a Senator Nathaniel Fallow McGill. Senator, welcome to the show. It's good having you from McGibby. What was your own interpretation here, sir?
Well, firstly, I think the Supreme Court, I honestly believe the Supreme Court should have gone more beyond just the interpretation of Article 43. But however, let me just go to what the Supreme Court interpreted. I think the ruling, primarily when you go to the judgment, you look at paragraph 3. paragraph 3. I think that's where the Supreme Court entire opinion is that you can make a judgment. You can make a judgment from that point to know exactly who's right, who's wrong. Who's right, who's wrong in the Supreme Court interpretation of Article 49 and 33. I think that's where the Supreme Court judgment is. So we can clearly see who's right, who's wrong in terms of the interpretation. Even though the Supreme Court did not say exactly who's right, who's wrong, but the Supreme Court defined who the presiding officer is. I think that's the crux of the issue. Who is the presiding officer of the legislature? And that will tell you exactly where the authority is. The Supreme Court said, in defining Article 33, the Supreme Court said, whether you have majority or you have lower number, the presiding officer are defined in the 1986 Constitution as the Speaker. So wherever the Speaker is, that is the that where the presiding is. In the absence of the presiding officer, the Deputy Speaker can preside. In the absence of the presiding officer, the issue is whether or not the Speaker was absent. Whether or not the Speaker has been absent in these circumstances. So that's where the court has made an argument. The court say, look, we can't tell you how to compare people to come because you're supposed to do it. We can't tell the law to tell you how you compare people to come to section because the legislature had authority to define that. So I would have actually expected that the court would have gone more beyond and define how you remove people because the country is not there for whether or not who's going to be presiding. The issue is whether how a speaker can be removed. Whether for the non-party can remove the speaker, how the procedures will be. I think the court should have gone more beyond to define that. But the court was too, I think, limited itself just to the confusion of the two sections. I think right now even complicated with the way people be interpreted. I see now the majority say they have won, the minority say they have won. But what the court has defined clearly, I think here is the authority of any of these sections must be presided over by the Speaker, consistent with Article 49-33. I think basically,
thank you, Honorable.
What I say basically say you go on cover and you say actually want to move over, you go on cover. I think that was the Supreme Court saying.
Thank you very much, Rob. Because we have to go, I want to say thank you very much, Senator McGill. James, Lorena, Denise, you guys been doing great. Damon, rest of the team actually. I want to say we'll be back here tonight, Fatima, again to discuss this holistically. I'm not too clear as to why the Supreme Court went this direction. There's no for or against. There's no win right now. A lot of people
there is a win. There is no win, Clinton.
I'm saying what people say.
You predicted this yesterday, though. You predicted this last night.
Yeah, because I couldn't go further.
Very big again.
There is a win. You know why I said there's a win?
Clinton, you know you biased. You're lost. You're
Clinton, let me say this. I'm not saying that there is no win. I'm saying what the other side is saying, right? You have the majority of blacks saying we won. We have Mayor Station right now to Fonati House. Can you bring him on when he's ready?
Yes, right.
And they are celebrating that Fonati won. In the middle of this thing is the Liberian people, right? I think, as I said, the Supreme Court was going to wash their hands out of this thing and say, you'll take your trouble out of here.
You said it last night.
Come on.
This is my prediction. But Senator, give me a chance.
Let me finish, right? I want Liberians to listen to this. Fonati claiming that he won. Majority black, through the chairman, Koga, and Fode, the spokesperson, they're claiming that they won. The Liberian people in the middle here saying, what's going on here?
Yes.
So therefore, what we are saying, Fode is saying they're going to have the session in the joint chamber. Fonati now going to say, I'm going to have my session in the main chamber. We are back to square one. So how can you tell me that there is a clear win when we are back to square one? 2 weeks ago, these guys were operating now. Yes, my point, and I will end on this. You know who carry the trouble right now? It's the executive branch.
But we said that was going to be
the executive branch carrying this trouble right now. Dennis, you talking to me?
I was just saying that in as much as both parties, claiming victory, the entire ruling from the court is ambiguous because it gives more room for interpretation. The both sides now will have to seek interpretation whether they won or not, because we are just saying, oh, the court said they should, conduct themselves in ultra viewers. No one knows really what exactly is the court ruling. So at this point in time, it gives more room for interpretation.
And you are quite correct, Dick Dennis. That's what we are saying now. The executive branch got to show who's going to do the budget. The executive branch got to show whether we send more ID next time. They got to show whether they title. They're going to show exactly. But let me bring it to Let me bring Representative Colette for 1 minute. I beg you guys. Representative Colette, go ahead.
CEO, how you doing? And let me say good afternoon to the panelists.
Thank you.
You know what getting me to laugh?
We got to interrupt you, Representative Colette. We got the speaker speaking.
The Supreme Court for a just and equitable ruling. We believe this is consistent with the Constitution and laws of Liberia. But our focus, now that we have left the legal realm, is to move to the political realm, to encourage and convince our colleagues that we should, at this point, we have barely a week to go before the session closes. We have a budget to pass, come to work. All of our differences can be resolved on the floor. Let us rededicate our efforts to making sure the work of the people is done. So all of my colleagues, regardless of which side of the divide you were, let us be one as representatives tonight. There are no victors, there are no vanquished. We only have victory in the rule of law. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So that was the voice of Honorable J. Onanti Kofar speaking, and said that none of them win. He's encouraging his colleague to resume work effectively. So that's it for my end. We are staying here to observe the environment. Go back in studio.
Thank you very much, Sharasi. Thank you very much. Good of you. Thanks to you and everyone else to cover the story. We're gonna go back to James Colette for us to wrap this thing up. Representative Colette, talk to us, sir.
Yes, let me first say this before I proceed. My comment on this platform is not intended to convince your panelists. My comment is intended for the consumption of the listening audience. One, as I proceed, let me bring you of the prayer that the former speaker heard him talking. I think his speech is belated. When he held the gavel as speaker, it was a time he should have said that we will not, we cannot, and will never sit on his gavel. An attempt to do so will be undermining our serve. We are removing. He's a former speaker. He's not a speaker of the 55th. He's a member. He and I will sit on the floor as representatives of our various districts and argue issues. That's one. Back quickly to the court ruling. The court is saying to you that you went with a prayer. One, to declare our setting unconstitutional. What is a legal reliance? Article 33 was their legal reliance. In Article 33, it says the minority shall compel the minority. In the court ruling, the court said, since the coming into force of the 1986 Constitution, this legislature has not promulgated any law or statute to determine the manner and form in which the minority can compel the majority. When you go to court, one of the things going for is a reliance. And that reliance must have a foundation. And the foundation is not standing in this case. The 33 saying minority shall compel, but the court say you have not made law to determine how or the form and manner in which you can compel the minority. That's one. An attempt for the court to make said law for you, it will be against the doctrine of the separation of power. On the basis of that, your return and conduct yourself consistent with law. I heard Sir Mangio, a big brother whom I respect and admire so much, to say when return to Kufa chamber. Let me say, Sir Mangio, if you listen to me, this is a John brother talking to I say it's a blatant lie. It's a misunderstanding of the ruling. It did not say when I could say to you, return. We return to the gavel of Richard Nangri Kum. He was then speaker when the court served the prohibition. That's one. There is one big question.
Thank you, but let's have you, James, let's have you tonight. Representative, we got to go. We are running into the next segment time.
I don't conclude this, CEO. I don't conclude this.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's a big question. There's always been a debate on Spoon Network whenever I had the opportunity to appear. That is, the deputy speaker is not the presiding officer. The court was clear. In the absence of the deputy speaker, the deputy speaker is the presiding officer. So if you went to somebody to beg for something or to ask for something, and while you ask for it, it will not granted it. It will not given to you. You call that victory. And before coming to the public, I had a lawyer, Councilor Henry Vani Utoshpego, and he said to me, Colette, go back and conduct yourself. Honor. So people come by and say it's a win for minority. No. But I want to say to those who say it's a win for minority or for the former speaker, let it wait and see for the next 2 weeks whether it will be a win or not. And quickly on the issue of where the executive will operate or send who. The executive budget to pass. We are communicating with them, and the communication was in full swing, but because of the prohibition, the executive halted some of the activities. The prohibition has been lifted. The executive had no other option but to conduct themselves consistent in line with what the information sent them by the majority. So it's the former speaker, Representative Kofa Kings, he's speaker of the 55th.
Thank you very much, Representative James.
That's not beating us.
Thank you. Thank you, Representative.
Thank you,
Representative.
very much.
Yeah, thank you, Chief. Thank you. Thank you. We want to say thanks to Representative James Coder, Representative for the Formula. We want to say thanks to Senator Natano Fallo Miguel. Tonight will be the Spoon Talk. Tonight will be big. Tonight will be the day in which we always sit and analyze this thing in its entirety. Now, let's get all of here. It's only fair for us to give chance. Couple of lines being drawn here. One, I'm getting information that it is the law involved that the Constitution must be interpreted in light of the entire document rather than the sequestered pronouncement. Two, that in the event where the speaker is presiding over a minority, the Constitution is devoid of the mechanism for how the minority is to compel attendance of absent members. And the legislature has propagated no enabling statute or standing rules, setting forth the process. Now, lawyers are marking these things. They are clearly stating that the Supreme Court, the direction in which they took today. I want you to join Spoon tonight. You will enjoy the program. This is a big ruling. Somebody didn't go home happy, but indeed, maybe one side pretending, Lorena, Denise, Fatima, James, and maybe, somebody sincerely celebrating. But I believe, like I said, and everybody heard me clearly, when I spoke to our sources that the Supreme Court was washing their hands out of this thing, and they were saying, go and handle your own business. That's exactly what happened, James. You cannot.
You said it last night.
Yeah,
on Tuesday, James, you're going to have the joint chamber and the main chamber, and business again will be another argument. Let's close the show.
Yeah, so CEO, what the Supreme Court did today, and I think it was the best thing that they would have done by leaving these people. If you read that ruling, the Supreme Court said we cannot do what you're supposed to do for yourself. Go and do it for yourself. And the work that you did, you went beyond your limit. You did some things that you were not to do. So y'all go back, those things that y'all did, y'all put them together and do it the right way. So this, to me, is not a win for the majority Black, and it's not a win for Speaker Kofa. It's a win to me for the law to say, y'all go and give this man due process. You guys did not do what you have done. But for people to celebrate that Speaker Kofa won, no, Speaker Kofa wanted these people to be declared unconstitutional.
Thank you, James.
Just to conclude, Speaker Kofa wanted these people to be declared unconstitutional, and the law refused to do it, to say they are unconstitutional. The law did not, and give them the power to continue, but they should do it in line with the law. Yeah.
Thank you very much, James. Let me get you closer, Denise.
So James, it's both sides, like you said. So you have the Supreme Court, in as much as it did not say the majority Black was acting out of the law, unconstitutional. Also, it also tells it that it was acting out of its capacity, legal authority. So where the minority Black from the Speaker side, Speaker Fonati Kofa, was talking about, the law being the law and that they were acting illegally, it's been saying that they went beyond that, constitutional authority as majority Black. So at this point in time, like I said, with the ruling from the Supreme Court, it gives room to more arguments in various corners of the country, and people to know exactly what exactly is the ruling, in as much as the Speaker Fonati Kofa is celebrating, because there's some that the self-style majority Bloc, acted beyond their limit. So there's some point for which he's celebrating, and they too celebrating because the Supreme Court lay premise on Article 33 that says simple majority. So there's a side for everyone in this entire ruling. But what it says now is how the Speaker can get his colleague together to come and sit under his gavel. That's one of the hardest thing at stake right now. And whether the majority Bloc that have resolved, in terms of not wanting to go under the gavel of Speaker Kofa, will agree to do that. So again, we see another week long, or few weeks or days of some controversy at the legislature, the House of Representatives, to see how best they can actually come together and carry on the law.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dennis. Lorena?
Before Lorena coming, I think the Supreme Court wasn't definite as to who members or those members of the House of Representatives who were acting unconstitutional. I mean, that was another area the Supreme Court left for interpretation. You had members of the majority Bloc accusing the Speaker of carrying on some acts in violation of a position. You also have those from the majority Bloc who the Speaker Bloc who said the majority Bloc had no right to elect a new Speaker. So I mean, the court just left everything open for interpretation. Who acted unconstitutionally, who did something illegally, I think it's something that needs to be interpreted. And the lawyers, I mean, only legal manners now can make Liberians to understand or interpret the entire ruling to the public to know exactly what they on Capitol Hill.
Thank you, Lorena. Thank you very much, sir.
The court didn't rule in anybody's favor from what we saw. The court ruled, the court only interpreted the Constitution when it comes to Article 33 and, of course, Article 49. So today, all we are going to see again next week is the same confusion at the House of Representatives, from what I see, because the majority Bloc, they will not sit on a Fonati Kofa. Fonati Kofa group is not also going to sit on the majority Bloc. So what is going to happen again in Liberia? It's like the government.
Deja vu all over again. Yep.
Yes, sir.
Deja vu all over again. Thank you very much, Fatima. Real quick, we gotta run before these guys kill me for overtime.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, Fatima.
It's clearly.
I believe that, I saw just now when you were playing Speaker Kofor, I think this is what he should have been doing, be asking for reconciliation and bringing people together. I think even he sees it, but at the end of the day, he is not going to be Speaker. I think Richard Cohn is going to be Speaker, and I've said it over and over, and this is what he should have done in the beginning, but he didn't do it. I think it's a little too late, and the Supreme Court, what they did today was to embolden the 43 men that, of course, your sitting is not illegal, and so you can continue to conduct business. You guys go and handle yourself, go and talk to each other, and that's what the Speaker took from there, and that's what he's doing. But I think it's a little too late. So we're going to see what happens next.
Thank you very much. Clinton, take us home on this one, sir.
Look, it is unfortunate that people don't understand the term ultra-virus. I don't understand what about the term ultra-virus that people are not understanding. The term, look, I want to read, before I even say anything, let me read the last paragraph of the Supreme Court's reading. It said, wherefore, in view of the foregoing, any setting or action by members of the legislature that is not in conformity with the intent of Article 33 and 49 of the Constitution is ultra-virus. That means any setting of the legislature that is not in conformity, and they went at the beginning, the very beginning of the ruling, they defined where they interpreted what Article 33 and 49 is. And what they said is this. They said, Article 49 says that the Speaker is the presiding officer. The Deputy Speaker can only preside in the absence of the Speaker who's the presiding officer. It also says their interpretation is whenever the majority is sitting or the minority is sitting, the Speaker is the presiding officer. So you have a situation where you have.
Let's keep some of them for the show tonight. We gotta go because it's time to
have a situation where you have a group of lawmakers sitting with all a speaker, and the Supreme Court already interpreted what that should be, and then said, well, go back and act in conformity, and then you tell me say that it's not a win. It is a win. The only thing the Supreme Court said, they can't force people to, they can't compel, and that's because there's no law to it. That's what they're saying. There is no law to make them compel members of it.
Thank you guys again. Thank you very much, Clinton. It's good to have you. I see you tonight. Fatima, thank you a lot. It's good to have you. You guys have a great afternoon on our end here. Thank you guys. Again, I want to say thank you very much, Lorena, for allowing us to come to your program today, the big news. Thank you, Denise. Thank you, Damo. Thank you. Is that Sylvester? Yeah. Good day. And the rest of the team on the field, I want to appreciate every one of you. But this is Fonati that we should post it. We celebrate victory, not of a bloc, but of a democracy embedded in the rule of law. In the next few days, I will be reaching across the aisle to encourage my colleagues to return to work, do the Liberian people business, restructure their house, and contemplate my transition. To God be the glory. And contemplate my transition. Wow, I don't know what that means. I decided to take it. Listen, when Fonati speak, I love to go into his head and contemplate my transition. So somebody got to tell us what the speaker number one, Speaker Fonati Kofa, is saying. Now, we wish to hear from speaker number two, Richard Cohn. And they will be firing tonight. Join us on Spoon. Thank you for being part of this show, your network, the People's Network, Spoon Network. Till we meet again this evening, may God bless you, may God keep you, and may God save the state. Lorena, do the needful for the guys, Lorena. Do the needful for the guys. Thank you.
I'm taking care of them, too.
You can talk later. I didn't ask you for explanation, James. She got to answer, do the needful for the guys. Glenn,
yeah.
Thank you.
She has to.
Yes, sir. James, good day, Flomo. Bye-bye. Thank you for being here, all of you. We'd like to say thanks to all of those that listen to the program.
Thank you, guys.
Special edition. So many thanks to you, James Goodell Flomo, the rest of the team. My name is Lorena Honorary. Next on your station is Spoon Talk Business.